Tasty, tasty. Tasty, tasty. Tasty, tasty. tasty, tasty. Tasty, tasty. Tasty, tasty.
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are, guys. I hope you're having a really good Sunday. It's hot here at the PT workshop, so I apologize in advance for the noise of the fan next to me. I'm sure you guys can hear it. I didn't think it would be as hot here today as it actually is at the workshop, but that's because normally we have the door open in the morning and airing the whole place out. And today we don't have that because I didn't get here until, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, something like that. Just between 6 and 7. Just getting the camera reset back to where it should be. There we go. So I didn't have a chance to cool the whole workshop down, and as such, my trusty air conditioning unit is turned on and trying to keep me cool. But like even this close to it, even though I can reach out and touch it, it's not really affecting this part of the room. It's only affecting like the 3 square feet in front of it. So it's still a bit warm. Captain Reed was first. Good afternoon, Mr. Reed. I hope you're doing well. He says, just in case I wasn't early enough, I'm patiently awaiting for the return of the Sun J. This was a little joke he put in Discord earlier on about it being Sunday or Sun J. Silly. My wife hated it, but thank you. Gemma's here as well. She says, howdy, hope everyone is having a splendid Sunday, and subscribe for 29 months. Thank you so much, my dear, for 29 months of subs. That's crazy. 29 months of subs is huge. Bulbs is here as well on a 25-month streak as well. Says, good evening all. Captain Reed says, ooh woo, I have missed these streams. I'm so sorry. The reason why we haven't had streams for a couple of weeks is because I was a stag and hen do, and then the following weekend I was at Silverstone for the Formula One, and that was last weekend, and now I'm back. So 2 weekends off, and I've just been super busy like during the weeks and things like that, so I haven't been able to stream during the weeks. But I'm hoping to address that and stream a lot more in the coming weeks. Hopefully that's going to happen. Joshio, thank you so much for the Prime Gaming sub as well. 52-month streak as well for that. Human going on a 7-month streak as well. Let's light up the rocket ship for all these people that missed this. Thank you very much, guys, for lighting up the rocket ship. I thoroughly appreciate you all. Basil the Mighty's here as well, says hello. Angry Swans here to subscribe for 44 months. Thank you so much for that. Infiltration's here as well. Jellymaster subscribed for 55 months, which is huge. 55 months is a massive amount of time. Newfie's here as well. A long time no see. Yeah, sorry about that. As I said, I was away for a couple of weekends. I'm now back. Streaming will continue. My glasses are a bit twisted, I've just noticed. Yeah, so streaming will continue at its normal rate. I'll be streaming Sundays again for the foreseeable future. I think. I can't think of any other Sundays that I won't be streaming. In fact, actually, no, I can. There is I need to have a chat with Mel tomorrow, because there is a chance that on the 9th of August I might not be streaming. So I have a wedding on the 8th of August, which is just like an overnight thing, and then there's potentially a festival that I might be attending with Mel and some friends on the 9th, Sunday the 9th. If I do end up going to that, then there won't be a stream on the 9th of August either. But that's not set in stone yet. I won't know the answer to that until probably later on in the week. So yeah, good for that. So plenty of streams to come, basically. Yes, I'm having a really good Sunday. I hope you are, Reed. I hope you are. Is that like an ice cream one, or is it like a day of the week one? Can't actually hear the fan. Good. I'm glad. Like, I've tried to set up the gain for the mic, because the mic's all the way up here, like just out of the overhead cam. Like, the overhead cam comes down here. If you look in the box here, the overhead cam comes down here. The microphone is just like kind of here. It's kind of just out of shot, and I've tried to aim the fan so it's kind of like not, there's no air disturbance at the microphone. So I've tried to aim the air, which is kind of hard, which is why the fan's only on this little thin bit. It does actually open up to like 3 inches, but to 10 inches, but I have it open just a little bit just to let the air out.
Tasty, tasty.
Alex Santos, thank you so much for the raid, man. I hope you are doing well. We're just about to talk about the schema, which is your keyboard, very, very soon, when we start to take a look at the website and then talk about PT news. But thank you very much for the raid. I hope your stream went well, and I hope everyone's having a good day. A Little Eccentric says, I was waiting for the stream to start. I didn't realize I'd paused it. Oh,
incredible.
That's just how it goes. Filio Fish and Firetech, thank you so much for being here as well, guys. Basil the Mighty says, how dare you take time off from entertaining us? The gall, quite frankly. Just one of those things. I had to take time off from streaming for 2 weeks. I had a stag and hen do to go to, which was really, really good. And far more geeky and nerdy than I was expecting it to be, which made it more into my ballpark.
Incredible.
And then last week I was very, very lucky enough to get invited to the Formula One. A friend of mine who works in the Formula One industry managed to score some tickets, and he was like, would you like 2 tickets? I was like, yes, please. And I took another friend with me.
Incredible. And
we had a great time. We shared a hotel room. It was too hot. It was too sunny. I did get sunburnt, and I'm actually peeling all on my arm here. I don't know if you can see that on the camera. My arm's kind of peeling here. I caught the sun.
Incredible.
But it was really, really great. Thank you for all the follows, guys, as well. I appreciate all the follows coming through. We will get onto some keyboard content very, very soon, but I've only just started the stream. Superhands is here as well. Can we get someone to stream in your stead? Who is my second? I don't really have a second. Mel, who worked for PT, has been on stream before. She's even soldered a keyboard on stream before. But I don't want to make her like work on a Saturday or a Sunday afternoon when she doesn't want to. Dynamics is 10 inches. What did I do? I was just explaining my air conditioning unit is on, but I've set the fan to only be about 4 inches wide instead of 10 inches wide. This is a flap that hinges up, so it's only about 4 inches wide instead of being 10 inches wide. Yeah, just one of those things. You really do love sharing hotel rooms with people called Chris. Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things. I have a lot of friends called Chris, and sometimes it's just cheaper to share a hotel room than it is to get your own. Lost in Typing says, hey Jay, I hope you're doing well. It's been a while since I've been able to watch one of your streams. Well, thank you very much for being here. It's been a while since I've streamed, so thank you very much for being back. It's 3 weeks since I streamed, which is insane, because that's probably the longest streaming break I've had in 8 years, maybe. So yeah. You watching any of the WEC into Lagos this weekend? No, I have seen some of the highlights, Bulbs, and I have got like a few things to watch about that on Monday. I'll be catching up with the recaps on YouTube on Monday, most likely. You guys are having a heat wave, aren't you? Sort of, yes. Yeah, sort of. So it's not as hot this week as it was last week or the week before that, but it's still really quite warm. So here in the workshop, in this room right now, it's about 29 degrees Celsius. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, but I'm going to imagine it's somewhere in the mid to high 90s right in this room right now. But it's quite humid here in the UK. So that's at like 60% humidity. So it feels hot and sticky in this room, which is why I have the AC on. But I am very, very lucky that I'm one of the few people in the UK that has AC at home, so I don't generally have to worry about the heat as long as I'm not at work. As long as I'm at home, I'm okay. That's a real coffee. I thought it was a prop. No, it's a real coffee. Oops. Yeah, it's a real coffee. It's a real coffee. I probably have coffee in my beard now. There you go. It's real coffee. Because I have a coffee company, as well as doing keyboards. I also have a coffee company, which is called Jay's Roastery, which is just here, Jay's Roastery. This is my coffee company. All of these photos were taken in our our keyboard workshop, ironically enough. But yeah, we have my own coffee company. So I'm drinking the Fiction Blend right now. This is what I'm drinking right now. You can see our ACS Vostok coffee machine in the background just there. So yeah, that's what I'm drinking. You can buy some coffee if you would like, and if you ever want to order coffee with your keyboard stuff, just add a note at checkout and I'll email you and we'll figure the coffee stuff out. It's cool because you can't actually order internationally from the coffee website directly, just because of like rules on exporting coffee. I have to be careful with that. But if you want to buy some keyboard stuff as well and have a bag of coffee beans added to it, we can figure that out for you. That's not a problem. Technical term for this heat humidity is manky. Yeah, muggy is probably what we'd say here in Yorkshire. It's a bit muggy out there today, which just means it's kind of like sweaty and sticky and not great. Not great. I can't remember. Do you all ship to the US yet for coffee? No, we don't ship directly to the US for coffee. Exporting coffee is really quite difficult once it's been roasted, certainly from the UK anyway. So we don't export it directly from the coffee website. But if you ever order anything from Prototypist as a keyboard entity and you're thinking, I'd like to try some of Jay's coffee, have a look at the coffee website, add a note at checkout saying I'd like 500 grams of the Fiction Blend or a kilogram of the Sci-Fi Blend or whatever it is you fancy. And then it'll delay your order for an extra day or two if it's an in-stock item. But then what'll happen is I'll just, because we roast the coffee off a different site, so I'll just have to like get the team or myself to go get it between sites and stuff. And then just for hygiene, like we can't, like with all the keyboard stuff and the cars here and everything else, there's just no way we could realistically roast coffee and stick to hygiene rules. So we do roast coffee off site at a specific like building that's set up to be a coffee roastery, and lots of other coffee roasters in the local area use that building to roast their coffee too. So yeah, so we roast the coffee off site and we ship it from that site, but I can always just have a bag brought over if you do want to order it with your keyboard stuff. We can absolutely make that happen. So yeah, but it is absolutely a real coffee. The mug is a little bit wonky, a little eccentric, like your name. It is a little eccentric. So the story behind, I have two of these mugs. These were made, if you see, it's got like a blue pattern on the sides and the fronts and all around. It was hand painted by a friend of mine. And the once he'd made the mugs, that's what he does for a living. He makes mugs for a big company, but these were like selected seconds where the painting had gone wrong. So he actually formed them to the shape of his hand. So this what he did here was like shaped it by going like that. My hands are very different size and shapes, so there's gaps and things, but he did that, and so this is the shape of his hands to kind of like shape the mug. So you can see here it's kind of like wonky and not flat and not straight and just kind of all bent out of shape. And I have two of these mugs. I have one with stripes on and I have this one with blue dots on, which I prefer. I don't know why, but it was really, really nice of him to do that. So yeah, so that's where the mug came from. Do you ship to Ireland? I don't know how things are now. For the keyboard stuff, yeah, we ship worldwide for the keyboard stuff. If you want to order keyboard stuff from us, we ship absolutely everywhere in the world. There isn't a single place we don't ship to. We've even shipped to Antarctica before. For the coffee stuff, I think you should be able to check out to Northern Ireland. If it's Ireland itself and you do want some coffee, just drop me an email. Or if you're even outside of the UK, anywhere in the world, and you want some coffee and you're like, Jay, I just want to buy your coffee, just drop me an email and I'll figure it out for you. I just have to be really, really careful with what I have on the website, and I don't want to open it up to just like people from, say, the US who find the website and then someone reports me to the local government. I just want to avoid that. So yeah, you can absolutely order coffee from us anywhere in the world. Just drop me an email if you can't check out the website. So that's that. I'll have to consider doing that then. I wanted to try your coffee for a while now. Hopefully I'll be living in the UK soon. I've been trying to expat for a while. Okay, interesting that you wanted to come to the UK. Whereabouts in the UK are you thinking of coming to? Because it's a big old place and it's very different. It's no matter where you go in the UK, it's always different, and it's a bit of a different vibe all over the country. But yeah, good to hear that. Right, let's catch up on PT news. I'm just going to kick my shoes off because my feet are warm. Grab my. I'm just conscious that the sun's going to shine in my eyes in a couple of minutes. It sets and it comes down. You can see here. It's going to set my eyes. I think. That'll be fine. PT news. Where do I need to start? So, I had a meeting with my accountant this week. It did not go well. Enough said. Our next container shipment has arrived, and we're slowly working our way through it. There is a ton of stuff in there. There's something like 5,000 orders in it, something like that. So we started to work through that on Thursday and Friday last week. Mel and I got through a ton of orders. There was Cherry Love desk mats, Mutagen desk mats, Ada desk mats, a ton of other stuff as well. And then this week coming, we're going to start to work through some of the other keyboard group buys, such as Motif 65. If you've ordered the Motif 65 from us, you're going to get the choice to wait for the keycap set to arrive, or to pay the difference and have the board shipped and then wait for the keycap set. There is thousands of QK and Neo boards that have arrived as well, so we'll start to work through those this week. It's probably going to take us all of this week and most of next week to get through everything, but we will get there. We will get there. Use code accountant is angry for 10% added on top. Yeah, I don't want to talk about that meeting. I really don't want to talk about it. It was not fun, and it is one of those things. Did the summer sale help clear some space for the shipment? It did help clear some space, probably not enough. The issue that we have as a company right now is we carry about £1 million worth of stock at any given time. And when we get towards the end of the financial year, which is for us at PT is the end of October. So our financial year runs from the 1st of November to the 31st of October each year, because that's when the company was founded. It was founded on the 1st of November 2019, so 7 years ago. And when we get to that date, whatever stock we have on the 31st of October, we have to pay 20% tax on. So if we have £1 million worth of stock, which we do, our tax bill is instantly 200k. The issue we have now is some of that stock we actually paid tax on last year. So we've already paid 20% tax on it. So let's say, I think a good example of this is GMK Camping. We have a lot of stock of GMK Camping on the shelf. We paid 20% tax on its value, on its retail value last year at the end of October. The sets that we still have in stock at the end of October this year will pay another 20% off. So on those sets, we'll have paid 40% tax. Plus, then we'll have to pay tax on the actual sale when we sell it. There'll be 20% VAT on top of that. So in fact, no, it's 25% tax. 25% tax at the end of last year, 25% tax at the end of this year. So it's 50% of the product price will be taxed. Plus, there'll be an extra 20% of the product price that's taxed as a sales tax, which is VAT. So one is corporation tax, the other one is VAT. So theoretically, there are sets of GMK Camping on the shelf that if we sell them for the same price in January coming, next January, we will have already paid 70% of its retail price to the government as taxes. So we won't even come close to breaking even on that sort of set. And there's a lot of other stuff that's just been sat around in the workshop for so long that's the kind of tax position we're in. There's some other stock out there, some keyboards such as the Ellipse keyboards. We've actually paid that 25% corporation tax 3 times on it now. This will be the 4th year. The first year it was 19% because the government put the tax prices up a few years back. So it used to be 19% corporation tax. So the first year we paid 19% on the ellipses. Then we paid 25% on the value, then another 25% on the value, and then this year we'll pay another 25% on the value. So we will have paid in total something like 90% tax on those before we've even sold them. It's insane that we have to pay tax on stock that we hold. So what I would rather do is I would rather sell things at a fairly big markdown and not have the stock here when it comes to that time. So if there's anything in stock that's been in stock for a while that you want a discount on, and you were like, Jay, I'd like to buy MW Pancoon, but it's £75, whatever, I can probably sort you out with a bit of a discount on that, so I don't have that sat on my shelf and pay another amount of tax on it when I haven't even sold it yet. So that's kind of like my big headache for this year, is why do we hold so much stock and how do we reduce our stock over time? I used to think that holding stock was great for the community, because if we held it for if we had a product in stock for 6 months, it meant that everyone had a chance to try and buy it, which is kind of still the aim. The issue is I tended to buy too much stock, or order too much for in-stock products, and now we hold that stock for 2 or 3 or 4 years, and that was me ordering too much. But then the other way around is sometimes I'll order too little and it'll sell out within 20 minutes, and then everyone complains that we don't have enough stock. A really good example of this actually is last time we got high vis. So I wanted to show you guys this anyway, because I wanted to show off how cool the high vis. This is the high vis novelties and releginables from round 2. How cool are these? These releginables are so cool. Look how bright they are. That's in direct light. That's in shadow. These are so cool. But when we got high vis R1 in, we had like 100% extras, and they sold out the same day we put them in stock. We've got high vis R2 in stock, and we only bought 50% extras, and I think we sold 1 pack since we put it in stock. So it's really interesting how stock works and what people are into. Like when we sold GMK Windbreaker in Group Buy, it sold a shit ton, like an absolute crap ton of units compared to what we thought it would sell. So I thought, great, I'll just order the same number again for in stock, and it doesn't sell. So, you know, it's really difficult. Let's catch up with chat. The championships are over just in time for the stream. Nice, thanks, Rue. Welcome. PT jersey is needed. Yeah, like an overseas branch of PT. How are you supposed to stay afloat? Weesh. That is the basic conversation I had with my accountant. So there's actually a really funny story here. So my accountant has scheduled this meeting a couple of months ago to basically come to the PT workshop. He does it once a year, usually around the 1st or 2nd week in July, and it was on Wednesday of this week just gone. So what would that be? 9th? Something like that? No, 8th? Something like that? What would the date have been? Wednesday the 8th of July. That's when it was. Okay, so he's supposed to be here at 10:30 in the morning on Wednesday the 8th of July, and we plan to have like a 3 or 4 hour meeting going over like the half-year reports, the projections for the next half year, and where we expect it to be when it comes to November, and we're submitting our reports to HMRC, which is kind of like the government basically here. And I get a phone call at 10:20 saying, Jay, I'm really sorry. My accountant and his colleague Tracy, he's called Barry, and Tracy, he's like, Tracy and I are stuck at a hotel. Our hire car has broken down and we cannot get from the hotel to the PT workshop. Like, great, okay. So we had to then pack up the whole team from here, drive over to the hotel and do the meeting at the hotel. Luckily, it was lovely weather, so we just sat outside and had a bottle of wine and talked it all through. But it was like a half an hour drive away, so it kind of like made things a little bit dodgy for shipping that day, but we got through it anyway. So their car had broken down, so we went over there, had the conversation, and basically my question was to him was, you know, how are we supposed to stay afloat when the government taxes us so much, and we have to, you know, there's a million things that we have to do legally as well. So I have to have certain types of insurance. I have to have all of these other kind of like precautions in place. I have a massive amount of rent to pay for the PT workshop. And his answer was, you don't charge enough, Jay. What you should do is you should take your wholesale price and you should double your wholesale price so you have a 50% margin. And I was like, that's not how keyboards work. He's like, that's how business works. I was like, okay. I was like, but we had like a 10 or a 15% margin if we're lucky. And sometimes we don't even make that. And he's like, that's not enough. That's just going to get you into trouble. So that's where we're at. So I'm now in a monetary saving mode. How can I save money? PT's been looking to move premises anyway for a while, because the rent here went up 13% every year for the past 5 years, which is just insane as well. The rent on this place is now it went up 13% year on year. So it's, you know, 4 years in this particular building, every year it's gone up 13%. So that's, I know it's not actually 26% for 2 years, so it's not 50% over 4. It's probably more like 38% when you look at the start year to now, but it is 13% year on year. which is insane and unsustainable. And I've had a chat with the landlord, and he's like, "Tough, move or stay. I will get someone to pay that for that building." So, yeah, that's where we're at, Wish. Love visiting the UK. We'd prefer Edinburgh or Manchester, but we're open to wherever work takes us. Nice. Does the value you pay tax on ever decrease? Only if we sell the stock, but then we pay the VAT when we sell the stock. So no. There should be a system where you can write them off after paying the tax on. So we can write stock off. You are correct. We can write stock off, but then if we actually keep it on the store and sell it later on, we still have to pay that tax again. So it's a really difficult situation, and the more you write off and then sell later on, the more chances you are of being investigated, because then that's fraudulent, because you should only write stuff off that you don't expect to sell. If we write off everything and then sell everything, well, we would get investigated and fined massive amounts of money. So it's slightly different. Thank you very much, Bartowski. I appreciate your sub. Thank you so much for that. Is it illegal for us to buy it and then refund us later after your tax bill? I mean, that would just be fraud, right? This is one dedicated teeter-totter. Thanks. My eyes. Wait, what? If I wasn't in the middle of buying a house, I'd buy some keycaps off you. That Pancoon set has been tempting me for a while. Need to turn my brightness down. Yeah, high-vis is so bright. Like, it is literally this bright. It is super, super bright. It's super, super cool. You should all go do a buy because it needs to be on keyboards.
Tasty.
Thank you, Godzilla Waddle, for the sub as well. Time flies. It absolutely does. For 24 months, 2 years. Happy PT birthday. Congratulations. There's a good location under the interchange. Okay, in Bradford? We don't want to be in Bradford. We want to move out to East Yorkshire. So, yeah, that's where we want to be. Rent everywhere is insane. The rate at which things are going up sucks. It's truly disappointing how everything is becoming more and more unaffordable for everyone. The issue is that as the costs to run the business for PT year on year have gone up by about 40%. And that's not because I've been giving out people massive pay rises or anything. I haven't. The team haven't had a pay rise last year because we can't afford to. But rent, utilities, insurance has gone up massively. Because we have to insure around £1 million worth of stock at any given time, plus we have to have employee liability insurance and consumer liability insurance, and because we ship worldwide, that's really expensive. And I think that has gone up. I think that's doubled year on year. I think that went up from 18,000 to 39,000 this year. I think it was £39,000 just in insurance for stock, basically, which is insane. The rent for the premises and the rent for the the insurance for the building. So we have to insure the building as well for the landlord in case it burns down or whatever. I have to pay the insurance for that. That has gone up from £700 for the year 4 years ago to £5,000 this year. So it used to be negligible. It's £700. It's now £5,000. There's also a local tax that I have to pay to the local the council here for our area. That has gone up from in our old unit it was nothing because the unit was small, so we've got what's called business rate relief. If your unit is under a certain square footage of size, you don't pay any business rates. This unit is over that limit, so we have to pay the business rates. It's over it by about 20 square feet, which is really frustrating. That used to be £200 a month 4 years ago. It's now £985 a month, which I have to pay, and I get no benefit for that. No benefit. That's just an extra tax, £985 a month. I actually sat down with the council a few months ago and said, look, if I didn't pay that £985 a month, I could have another member of staff here 2 days a week, and I could, employ someone. No dice. So yeah, like all of the costs for running a business have gone up. And it's insane. The electricity bill for this building used to cost us about £300 a month. So that's things like lighting, power for PCs and machines and sticker labels and the laser and everything else and stuff like that. In fact, the laser probably cost us a little bit more. But now the power bill is about £650 a month. It's just kind of, it's crazy. Like the actual costs, let's say, for running the business are up 40%, which it's like, where does that money come from? How do you find that money? So I'm currently selling off some of my car collection because that's just what I'm going to have to do. Deciding between DCS Handabyte and Foundation, but with Nerve Group by tomorrow. Yeah, SWG Nerve is coming tomorrow. For context, there was a giant farm found under the interchange near the police station. Oh, Gregory GMK zooted. Nice, nice. Okay. There's actually a building at the end of the road that was a police station that had been turned into a grow farm here in Bradford. If you look where PT is on a map, in fact, I can show you. So if you go to Google Maps and you search for Prototypist Keyboards, that's us here. This is where we are. So can I turn the satellite on? This is where I am right now. This is that dot. I'm pretty much here. I'm sat somewhere around there right now. Okay, so this is where we are, Prototypist Keyboards. If you come along this main road, just up here, past this roundabout, and then up to the next roundabout, which is this one here. There's this is a fairly nice coffee shop called Java Joe's that Mel and I frequent a few times a year and pop by, and I kind of pop in there, drive through quite often. Just over the road from here, this used to be West Yorkshire Police Station. It is no longer West Yorkshire Police Station, but it used to be the police station. And I don't know if it was this building or one of the little ones or one of the other buildings around that they owned. It might have even been one of these older buildings here, I'm not sure. But one of these buildings that was part of the West Yorkshire Police actually ended up being used as a grow farm right under their noses. Yeah, which is kind of insane. So yeah, yeah, PT is right there. That's where PT is. We are right here, right next door to the pub. This is a pub right next door to us, next door. Yeah. And if I do this, you might even be able to see the PT workshop. Oops. Back. And there we are. Oh look, you can see there was some packages to go out that day, and there's some of the cars in the background. Look. But yeah, I'm sat just in that window there. That's where I'm sat right now. Yeah, I thought you guys would find that interesting. Okay, so in terms of other PT news, we've got our container here. We're working through that. There is a ton of other stuff that's about to ship from China, or it's just left from China, and that's going to take about 6 weeks to get here. So once that arrives, there'll be another container, and then in between all of that, we might actually be able to figure out where PT is going to move to. So I did have a site that I was hoping to be able to lease and move PT into. Unfortunately, it looks like that's not going to happen now. But we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Like, I'm going to start looking tomorrow with interest and vigor for a new space for us to move to. Right. No Clue says, I'm thinking about moving to London from the US. Is that starting to be a bad idea with prices going up? I think London is more expensive than other parts of the UK already. I think it depends on what you want to do. The cost of prices and the cost of living has gone up a little bit, sure, but salaries are broadly keeping up with that for the most part. Where it's not keeping up is small businesses. So small businesses all around the UK, everyone I speak to, there's like a whole group of businesses here that I'm very close with and speak to a lot. They're all struggling, whereas medium-sized corporations and above are just fine. Like, the changes don't affect them. So yeah. Surely say the bottom 10% of your lowest selling stock is considered dead now, e.g. those Gen 2 PCBs, etc. What could you do to off it all, auction lot? So that sort of stock is written off because we're very unlikely to sell it superhand. So there's the Gen 2 PCBs, for example. That is something that has already been written off, and it's unlikely that we'll sell it. We might sell one in the next 5 years when someone's Gen 2 PCB craps the bed and they can only find a replacement from us. I don't know. So a lot of stuff like that is written off, but things like keycap sets, because we sell so many of them, it's really difficult to write those off. We have to kind of keep them in stock, or if we do write them off, we'd have to destroy them and actually properly write it off. Civic 12, good morning. I hope you're in Oz now. I hope you're doing well, dude. Congratulations on the move. I had to renew my insurance. It's a decent overhead. Yeah, insurance is really expensive. Austin Type says, damn, that sucks. It's just part of running a business. Is this sun? Yes, this is sun. This is sun streaming through and hitting my face. I'm trying to move backwards and forwards to stay out of the sunlight because I can't block that little bit of sun that's coming through. Is a Greg's nearby too? There is a Greg's nearby too. It has a drive-through as well. I didn't realise you were all in Bradford. I actually got engaged just over in Haworth about 3 or 4 years ago. It's such a beautiful area. So Bradford town centre is not very nice. Where we are at PTHQ on the outskirts of Bradford is okay. Where I live just up the road from here is pretty nice. Where Mel lives, which is again just up the road, 10 minutes away, pretty nice. If you go out further, Bradford is massive. Like the actual area of Bradford is huge, so the city is just a tiny proportion of it. A lot of the countryside, such as Haworth and Bronte County, are so nice. It's some amazing places over there. Yeah, Haworth is lovely. Yeah, I know that area very, very well. I am an SWE and have just left London to move back to where I grew up, Gloucestershire. Rents are so insane in London. Yeah, those damned insurance companies. Read, dude, you know. What do you mean by written off low stock? You report the costs that it initially cost you to buy, and then years later say what that remains as lost. Yeah, okay. So, if we have stock at the end of our financial year, so on the 31st of October, whatever the retail value of that is, not the cost price, the retail value of it is, I have to pay tax on. And then if I still hold that stock a year later, I pay tax on it again at 25%. What I can do is I can say if my stock is unlikely to sell, I can write it off, basically, which means one of two things. Either that means I've destroyed it and I've just written it off, therefore it's not on my balance sheet anymore, and I've just absorbed the fact that I paid for it and it's written off. Or I can write it off and still keep it on the shelf, and then if it happens to sell at some point, I can then pay the taxes on when it sells. The issue is you can't write off a lot of your stock, because if you write off too much, it just looks like you're trying to be fraudulent and not pay the correct taxes, which is, of course, what people try and do. So instead of doing that, I would rather sell the stock at a markdown price of 20% off, 30% off. So if there's anything we have in stock that you guys want, just ask for a discount and I'll try and give it to you. I'd rather do that for our older stock than write it off and destroy it, or write it off and then have to pay tax on it again anyway. So it's all that kind of stuff. Bradford Town Centre is lovely, Jay. I don't know what you're talking about. There are some lovely buildings in Bradford Town Centre. In fact, the single best library stroke coffee house stroke bookshop is in Bradford in the UK. So yeah. So if it's being asked, I'm late to party, what keycap set is that and on what board? It looks awesome. This is my TGR koala that has the Prototypist logo engraved into it, which was done by TGR for me. The base is pink and it has copper on it, and the keycaps are GMK Windbreaker, which are in stock right now on the website. They are in stock right now on the website, GMK Windbreaker. If you need a vape, Bradford Town Centre is incredible. Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's a vape shop just around the corner from us. I've never been in, and I never will, but it's one of those things. Proposal: take all your Nord UK kits, melt, recycle them, and turn them into a new keycap set, J or Nord. Maybe. I have considered doing things like taking those Nord sets and making like earrings with them and things like that, but I don't know if we'd actually sell them, and it might be a lot of work for nothing. Is paying tax on stock every year a UK thing, or is it fairly normal? If you do dual count accounting, or double book accounting, it's sometimes called, then yes, it's very usual. But the percentage differs as well on how it's calculated. To be honest, that bookshop is pretty nice. Is that where Mel buys the books? I have no idea. I did take Mel in there once, so I don't think she'd been in there when I took her in. But yeah,
tasty, tasty.
I'm upset that I did not get in on the group buy for that desk mat. Well, good news, Beast Mode. It's coming back. I have stock of this on the way, and in a new colour as well. I think we might have some of it still in stock. Let's have a look on the website. Someone asked about the key set. It is GMK Windbreaker, which is in stock, and you can buy. There it is. This is the key set. You can buy this right now, and it'll ship on Monday. It'll ship tomorrow if you buy it. Whoever was looking for that. What's the desk mat called? I forgot what the desk mat's called. Why is the name of this desk mat just now not coming to me? I forgot what the desk... Busy Town is called, isn't it? Right, Busy Town. I just could not think of what it was then for a second. What have we got in? I think we've got the small ones in stock. Yeah, so we've got the TKL size for the beige desk mat. So we've got this desk mat that I've got here on my desk, but it's only in the TKL size right now. So it's just in the smaller size. But there is more stock coming of these. There's an R4 coming. There's a whole new colorway. You'll have the full size color, the TKL, the full size beige, and the TKL beige. And then there is another colorway as well coming, which I'm quite excited for. So yeah, watch out for that very, very soon. It will be happening. Which is actually a good time to do the whole shilling thing and tell you guys about everything that we're doing at PT at the minute. In stock, I just want to call out that we have dropped some stuff in stock recently that is really cool. We've just dropped the Kill by Love desk mats in stock. If you like this kind of thing, this is really cool. It's just nice and bright and shiny, and it's something fun to have on the desk. We've just dropped KKB Shirosagi in stock as well. There's Latin and Hiragana base kits for this. And both of them include UK ISO as well, so you can get those. And then there's all sorts of desk mats. In fact, one of the desk mats is deeper than normal. It's 500 by 900 instead of 400 by 900. So if that's your thing, you can pick up that. We've just picked up these switches I have here. I say that they've actually been in the workshop for about 8 months, and I've just never got around to listing them. These are the Root Studios Big Lucky linear switches, which are really, really nice. Which is good. MT New Foundation. One of the keyboard chores I actually have to do today is to unbox this and put it in one of my tubs to go on my keycap wall. So MT New Foundation is in stock, and CYL Foundation is in stock as well. Low stock on the CYL one, so if you want to pick that up, please do. It's been selling really, really well over the weekend, so make sure you order that. GMK Green Alert is in stock as well now. That's all in stock, and yeah, there's high-vis in stock and obliques and everything else that you could possibly want to. In terms of group buys, there are a few things I just want to call out as well, because we've got a few things ending today. So the Craze 65 keyboard kit, it does end at midnight tonight. It'll be open until first thing Monday, but if you want to get in on this, it's stupidly cheap. Like, it starts at 73 quid for the no PCB version, but even with a PCB, it's under £100 for a keyboard, and the unit I had here is incredible. So maybe you want to take a look at that. British Racing Green, I think. Oh, that's ended. Okay, I need to take that off the list. The Offenham keyboard, that ended last night, but you can order it again until first thing in the morning. It will let you put the order through, even though it says it's closed. But you can order those until tomorrow morning if you want to add one in. DCS Mudbeam is ending in a few days as well. Really cool set. If you like DCS, maybe you want to pick that up. What else I want to tell you about? Oh yeah, Alex Otos' Schema. So this has got a couple of weeks left to run on it, but this is such a cool keyboard. If you haven't seen this, I am really, really, really tempted to do the Schema Signature Bundle. This is really expensive. It's a lot of money, but what you get is incredible, because you get a mint top, a Vaser top, a black top, a machinist top, an aged top, a red top, a frosted top, a tangerine top, a mint bottom, a Vaser bottom, a black bottom, a machinist bottom, an aged bottom, a red bottom, a pumice weight, an aged weight, a copper weight, a machinist weight, a red patina weight, and 5 hardware packs, plus your standard PCB plate. It's kind of insane. You get all of the colors to mix and match. Maybe you want to pick one of those up. Maybe you don't. I don't know. The other thing that I think is really cool right now in Group Buy, if you like it, if you like this kind of thing, is the Keyboy. This is a 50% keyboard that looks like an old Game Boy Advance. It is super cool. Alex had this on stream the other day. I'm a huge fan of this, especially in the orange and purple colorways. Massive fan of it. And the pink polycarbonate as well. I think more things should come in pink polycarbonate. Keyboy Advance, really, really cool. Might be something that interests you. Yeah, Finer Things are too as well. If you didn't know this is in Group Buy, it is. GMK Finer Things are too is finally coming back, and this time it has 2 base kits. You can buy them as a bundle, and you can save a bit of money buying it as a bundle, or you can buy the individual colors, the white base kit or the blue base kit. Pretty cool to have it back. And the other thing, SWG Midnight Rainbow, my keycap set, is back. UK ISO and base Midnight Rainbow, it's back. There's only a couple of days left on it, so order it if you want to. It will go into pre-order pretty much straight away, because I'm having to buy this out to make it into production, so I'm going to have to buy a lot of this. You might want to pick it up and support us, you know? And then in terms of pre-orders, We do have a few things that are live in pre-order right now. Caps into Island, that's going to start shipping out tomorrow or Tuesday. So the group buy is going to start shipping out tomorrow, Tuesday. If you want to pick this up at a pre-order price rather than the in-stock price, make your order now and it'll ship out this week anyway. The price will go up a little bit when it goes in stock. The same goes for Cat Retro Bites. That's going to ship out this week as well. And I think some of the other things in here are too. So yeah, maybe you want to pick those up. I think. Oh yeah, I need to turn high-vis off. I think there's something else. Oh yeah, Tiger. So this arrived on Friday. We did get the group buy order shipped out. If you want to get Jim K Tiger R2, if you buy it today, it will probably ship tomorrow, even though it's a pre-order, because it's going to go in stock tomorrow night. So yeah, maybe you want to pick that up. Right. And as I say, if there's anything in the stock that you want a discount on, all you have to do is in chat, let me know, and I will try and arrange a discount for you. Right, let me catch up with chat. Clacky Keep says, hey Jake, don't suppose you have Phantom R2 Artisan hidden on one of your shelves? No, if it's not in stock, we don't have Phantom R2 anymore, I'm afraid. It has mostly sold out. The sun's finally gone behind my island. It's nice. I have to lean quite far forward. Aileen says, amazing, thank you. May have to go order the set from the site after the stream. Yeah, it's there. It's in stock. If you ask for a discount, I can give you a discount because it's in stock. Kevin Babes, thank you so much for 35 months of subs as well. Busy Town, yes, thank you guys. Thank you. A Busy Town Matt has been rolling around the boot of my car for months. Nice. Just being hit with a Ryland's mouthwash ad. I'm sorry, guys. I don't control the ads, unfortunately. I've already got an aged bottom. Basil the Mighty, I'm pretty sure you are significantly younger than I, so I don't think so. As soon as I went asked about the Deathmat, I went on ad break. When will that Deathmat be back? It'll be in stock really soon, Beast Mode, but there are the smaller ones in stock right now that you can order from us, but it won't be too far away. I need Finer Things. Yeah, Finer Things is something good to order if you're looking for something. Weird less than 60% of the sirens of this hobby, luring you into damnation. Yeah, over the side of the ship, making you want to cry into the water and go for a swim. Yeah. If I hadn't just got into the Agar micro group buy, I'd have grabbed that 50% Game Boy board. It's so fun. It's so fun. Do you know any info about the DCS 9009 fix kits? It's been mentioned that you have an issue. Yes, I do. If you go on our website, if you go on our website, and if you scroll up to the top and go to information and group buy updates, and then come down to key sets, and then if you scroll over, if it's going to let me, there you go. So DCS 9009 fix and capsule kit. Orders have been shipped where shipping invoices were paid, but it's been raised by one customer that the set doesn't match his key set. This is being investigated at the moment. Remaining sets on hold and stock taken off the site whilst we investigate. Ultimately, what it looks like is that when Carter submitted the order to Melissa at Signature Plastics, he didn't specify which molds needed to be used for the numpad keys, and because he didn't know there was multiple sets of molds, he just asked for it to match the original 9009 Gorton order. Melissa has replied to my email because I'm the lead vendor on this, so I've been looking into it. I know Simon streamed about it and actually showed the keycaps on the stream as well. He was taking some photographs for me because I don't have the original keycap set anymore. I gave it away to a YouTuber and haven't had it back yet, so I couldn't compare it. But we all trusted that Signature Plastics had made the thing based because we didn't know there was a separate numpad keys that could be. Melissa's come back and said she's investigating, and we should find an update out in the next couple of days. But basically, there might be a fix kit for the fix kit. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see. Put my Midnight Rainbow in. Ordered all 3 kits. Excited for that. Nice. When is the Torero stock coming? Pass. I'm not sure yet. Infiltration. Hopefully soon. Hopefully soon. I think we're the same age. Maybe you already have an aged bottom too. I'm nearly 42, so I'll be 42 in March coming. So I just turned. I say nearly 42. I just turned 41 this year. But I suspect you're considerably younger than I, because I have seen you in real life, and I think you're considerably younger. You look young. Thank you. I appreciate that. I will take that to the bank. The greys in my beard gives it away, and the greys on my temples now give it away as well. But yeah, I think I have many, many years on me right now. Right, okay. So I think that's all of PT news. there is a whole raft of other stuff that's going to happen this coming week. So towards the back end of this week, the coffee site website's going to get taken down, and all subscriptions are going to go on hold because I'm rebuilding and rebranding the coffee. So watch out for that. If you do want to order some coffee before then, like, we'll still be roasting it because we serve the coffee to coffee shops, so it'll still be available, just the website won't be up. So if you do want some coffee, get it ordered now, or drop me an email to add it to your keyboard order and we can do that. But it's time for me to show you some other cool things that have arrived this week. I've already shown you one thing, which is high-vis, because these relegendable keys for high-vis are super, super cool, and they're almost sold out. So if you do want to pick those up, please do pick them up. They're in stock, but they're almost sold out. The other thing I wanted to show you is, well, the first thing I want to do is update my desk mat, because this has been on my desk a while, and whilst it's not dirty as such, it is ready to be cleaned, and some other desk mats arrived the other day that I would like to exchange it for. So I'm going to remove this and show you live. New desk mat is going on my desk. So half of my head is greyed out, and I'm only 35. Oh man, I'm sorry. To be honest, I'd like to go grey. I really would like to go grey and be actually grey, but it's taking a while for it to happen. I didn't have any grey hairs at all until I turned 40, so everything that I have has been in the last year. Okay, so this is the desk mat I'm going to put on my desk. I'm not going to show you what it is, unless I have to. It is from Novel Keys. It's one of the ones that we sold for Novel Keys, and it's for a keycap set that has not yet arrived from the manufacturer. So let me see if you guys can guess what keycap set this desk mat is for. And these will be in stock on Monday or Tuesday night this week as well. This will be in stock very, very soon on the website, because all the pre-buy ones are either already shipped or they're with they're in our storage box waiting for the key set to arrive. Shiny-headed crying noise. Hey, Bolt can be a good luck. There you go. You might be able to guess what this is. It is from Gurkawa. I absolutely love a bright colour, and when these came in, I was like, oh, I have to have one of those. So I bought it before we put it in stock. So yeah, I'm absolutely in love with this desk mat. I think the whole creepy cute stuff is just so cool, and it kind of works with the brightness of Windbreaker as well. So I'm super happy with that already. So these will be in stock tomorrow. You'll be able to pick these up off the website tomorrow afternoon. It's so nice. It's so nice. Lord Stark, hey man, good to see you. Santa Island will be shipping out tomorrow or the day after. Finally, we finally got the sets in. They arrived Friday last week. So yeah. I was wondering if you have some spare. I'll know of a supplier of those desk mat sleeves. Some of mine have split and could do with spares if desk mats don't come with one. You mean these ones? I do have somewhere. I have a box of PT branded ones. I have about 1,000 of them. We can probably sell them for like £1 each or something, or 50p each or something. I don't know. I'll try and get them on the website new for you at some point soon. So yeah. Just sent you an email about the Windbreaker set. Oh, you just need to ask here. If you want a discount, Alander, you just ask in chat, and I will arrange a discount. Tasty. If you ask in chat and you want a discount on something in stock, ask in chat, and then we can share that discount with everybody who's watching right now. What was your keyboard? I was looking around my setup to find what got unplugged. Oh, I unplugged my keyboard. Yeah, this is a TGR Koala that has the Prototypist logo milled into it. And it is in teal and pink with a solid slab of copper on the bottom. The TGR logo is just back there. And this is GMK Windbreaker, which is a keycap set that's in stock on the website right now. And I do need to get David from Cool Cables to do me a cable for Windbreaker. I do need to do that. Mr. Kalane, thank you so much for 25 months of subs, dude. He says, hello, beautiful people and beautiful Jay. I hope you've all had a lovely weekend. I've had a great weekend. I hope you have too. GMK Windbreaker discount code, please. Yeah, I can do 10% on GMK Windbreaker. Let me set that up. If anyone wants a discount on GMK Windbreaker, or if there's anyone that wants a discount on something else, like you're looking at something else in stock and you want a discount on it, ask now whilst I'm setting up the discount, and I'll set the discount going. It will only be live until the end of the stream. So ask now, and I will see what I can do. Let me see if I can find Windbreak first. Why is there so many Windbreaker listings? Cool. Okay, so far it's only on one thing. Okay, so people have asked a few things. Hold on, let me catch up. My mistake. Can GMK Windbreaker discount please? Yeah, all you need to do is just ask and check, guys. Okay, so Infiltration has asked for the Hammer Booga CRP 64 keycaps. Oh, the desk mat. Okay, let me see if I can find that. It'll be 10% as well. Let me see if I can find that. Why can I not find that? Let me open the link first. Oh, okay. I think I might spell it wrong. Why? Okay. So the following code that I'm going to drop in chat will work on Windbreaker, CRP, C64, Deathmats. Okay. Neo 60 Core. I don't think we can do a discount on the Neo 60 Cores. Let me just have a look at the pricing on those. The reason for that is because I think the Neo 60 Cores, I'm pretty sure we've already got them at below what it costs us to buy them. Yeah, okay. So we only have kit 3 left in stock, which is kit 3. Kit 3, purple, copper, yeah, tri-mode. Okay, so the copper and tri-mode ones, I know that we price anything that's tri-mode at cost, and anything that's copper we knock 10% off just to make it easy and accessible. The idea is that if you buy one, hopefully you'll come back and buy keycaps. I can't do a discount on that because A, there's only one left, and B, the ex-VAT price, they cost us more than that to order in. So I can't give you a discount on that, unfortunately. But I can do on the other two. So there we go. That code is now live. The code is J is streaming 10% discount. Right, how can I not pin that? Why will it not let me pin that? There you go. And it will work on Windbreaker and CRP Deathmats. Okay, cool. Right, it's now pinned. Now pinned in chat. Break win for Windbreaker. Nice. Will you have any extra ASCII F? Yes, we will have extras for ASCII F. They should be live later on this week. There's not many of them. It's very, very limited, but they should be live later on this week. Liam, hey man, good to see you. I'm doing really, really well. Thank you very much. What is your teal and pink board? Peel and tink. Peel and tink. Teal and pink. This is a TGR Koala. In fact, you can get the specs on it by just doing, there's a command in it. I think is it keyboard? There you go. There is the details. That is the details of my keyboard in the chat for you. No clue. I don't know if we'll have brass ASCII F's beast mode. I know we'll have some ASCII F's, but not everything past quality control, and there's some that I would just not be comfortable in putting in the post to people and selling. So I don't know until we take stock of them this week what we'll have, but there will be very, very limited units, and I think when they do go in stock, they're likely to go very quickly. So I will try and announce a couple of hours before they drop, and then it will be over to you guys to buy them or not. Don't buy them if you don't want them, obviously. Finally, you cannot tease me with Windbreaker as it's on the way. I cannot wait. Nice. I'm glad you got Windbreaker eventually. Amen. Thank you so much for being here, dude. I appreciate you. Right. Okay. We have done discounts. I think that's it. We can start getting on some keyboard chores now, I think. What do you do with the units that don't pass QA? Do you get reimbursed? No. Even with the big companies like QK and Wookie Studios and things like that, if we get units that don't pass QC, they will often send us a replacement part for it. So let's say a weight's damaged on a keyboard, they'll usually send us a replacement weight, and that's all good and fine. Or if a PCB doesn't work, they'll usually send us a replacement for it. But they only do that for like 90 days after we've received them. So if we have something in stock for like a year and then it sells out, like those Neo 60 cores, the Neo 60 cores we looked at a minute ago, they dropped in February. So if, for example, we ship one out to a customer now, and that happens to have a DOA PCB, we won't be able to get a replacement from QK for free because it's outside of their warranty period for us. But under EU law, we have to provide a warranty period, so we'd have to either take it back or we'd have to buy a PCB from QK and replace it for a customer. For most other group buys that are run by most vendors, we don't have any recourse for QC failed units. I don't want to say any names specifically because it would be unfair to say them, but there's a couple of like big vendors that we've had QC problems with, and we've gone to them and said, this is failed QC, can we have a replacement? And the answer has basically been, you should have bought enough extras to cover your QC failures. When you're making 10% margin on the board is not, it's not sustainable, unfortunately. But that's just the way the keyboard hobby works. There's often no contractual liability for that kind of thing, and it is very much on the vendor that sells the product to provide their own replacements or to make sure you've got enough. So with the SKS, for example, I don't think we will get replacements for them. We will have to see what we can do. We might be able to have them Cerakoted. I don't like to sell B stock. I think it's a disservice to the community to sell B stock. When you're paying so much for a keyboard, you don't want something scuffed or anything else. So we might look in the future at recoating them. Sometimes we have been able to get the actual manufacturer, irrespective of who was the lead vendor that we actually bought from. We've actually been able to loop back past them and go back to the manufacturer and get them to recoat stuff for us, which has happened in the past with some products. But broadly, by and large, if it fails QC, we end up recycling the metal, and that's pretty much all we can do. So yeah. It's just one of those things. Are you ever tempted to go group buy only to avoid the tax issues? If there is something I really want, I go with group buy, but I have been known to wait, knowing you probably have it in stock. Okay, so that is a really good question. Where's it gone? Fillet or fish? Great question. I think it would do the community a disservice if we went purely to a group buy model and didn't buy extras for in stock. One, for many group buys, we have to buy extras, as I've just said, to make sure it passes our own QC, and then we can sell the extras if everything passes QC or whatever, whatever the quantity above that is that passes QC, we can sell as extras in stock. And I think that's great for the community as well. If we went group buy only, there are other tax issues. So the biggest one is VAT. In the UK, we have a sales tax. It's 20% of every product we have to pay to the government. So I pay 20% import tax when I import products to the UK, and then I have to charge the customer 20% at checkout, and that money goes straight to the government. 20%, we just take it off the top and give it straight to the government. And that's 20% for all sales. Even if we've got the items on sale, it's 20%. So whether that's group buy or in stock. Now, that's only for UK customers. So let's say we're just doing a group buy for a UK customer. Let's say, I don't know, Midnight Rainbow, because it's in group buy right now. UK customer buys that. We pay the government 20% tax as normal. No great shakes there. That's fine. And we will then pay import tax of 20% of the value of the products at wholesale, the wholesale cost of them when we import them. Fine. Easy. Let's say someone from the US buys that keycap set from us today. They go on the website, they look at group buys, they see SWG Midnight Rainbow, they buy it. They don't pay VAT because we only charge VAT to UK customers. EU is a little bit difficult, we'll come to that. But we don't charge them VAT. However, under UK law, if we don't ship that product for 90 days, we have to pay the government the VAT as though it was a UK sale. Now, once that product is shipped, we can reclaim the VAT, but until that product is shipped, we have to pay the government 20% extra. So all of a sudden, you can see why we get into very detailed tax problems. With EU, it's even slightly worse. So with EU customers, we charge them their taxes and VAT up front, and then when we ship the product out, we pay that through IOSS, which is basically making sure it's delivered with all of the duties paid. You know, DDP is another thing we can look at using, but it's mostly done under IOSS, which is kind of like a mechanism for us to collect the customers' EU taxes and pay the customers' EU taxes for them, so they don't get import fees. Lovely. However, because they're not a UK customer, if they buy a group buy product from us, we then, after 90 days, owe the government the 20% tax on top of the amount that they've already paid. And that's 20% on top of their VAT as well, until we ship the product out, which gets really, really confusing. And it's something that's really difficult to track. And if you look at our reports, like in the mid-year, because of things like this, it gets really messy. And VAT is due at the time of sale. So when we sell it, that means that adds onto our next tax bill for VAT. The other side of this, for corporation tax, is we only pay taxes on profits, which means the project has to be realized, which means we have to have shipped products out. So whilst we're paying VAT on all of the group buy projects this year, most of those won't ship till next year. So they'll be in next year's corporation tax bucket. So we then have all of these orders this year that we don't pay corporation tax on this year, but then after we've shipped them, we pay corporation tax on the next year. So I have to hold 25% of the profit margin for all of those projects until the next financial year. Because accounting is wonderful and I love it to bits. So it's really complex fillet fish. But no, I don't plan on going group buy only, because that is even more of a hassle. I like to have the stock. I think it's worthwhile to have the stock for people. That's what we're going to try and do. Also, how do you feel? Is Mel in a puddle in the workshop with this heat? Mel and I both struggled on Friday. We had a really, really long day on Friday. Shipping out group buy orders from the shipment that had arrived and lugging heavy boxes around. It was stupidly hot. Mel was down to like sports bar and like gym clothing basically, and I was broadly the same. I've been really self-conscious about my leg tattoo because it's not finished and it looks a bit weird because there's some elements that are just in random places. So I haven't been wearing shorts at all this summer because I'm really conscious about it. I've got more work getting done on it this week, and more 2 weeks after that, and more 2 weeks after that. But until it's finished, I'm really self-conscious about it. But I just gave up and I wore shorts on Friday because I had to. And on Thursday, when I was in on my own and Mel wasn't here, if you could have seen the security camera, that's when the delivery arrived, and I was basically looking all of these heavy boxes off of pallets and moving them around. It got so hot here in the workshop that I literally just had to strip down to my boxer shorts and move things around. So it's a horrific sight, and I was covered in like all this grease and grime. It was not very nice at all, but it was just too hot. But it had to be done. The work had to be done. So it's one of those things. It's unfortunate how vendors get stuck with it. Definitely an aspect of the hobby that I wish we would see a shift in. I think the thing is that for a lot of the smaller customer-owned projects, if we did want to have some sort of viable replacement parts warranty support period, the prices would all go up. And that's what everyone's trying to avoid. If people are willing to buy B stock, sell B stock, mark it up by 50% too, accountant is happy. The problem with selling B stock is it just generates a load of complaints. People know it's B stock, they buy it as B stock, but then it has a little scratch on it. And even though you've told them it has a little scratch on it, they go straight on Reddit and they say, I've just bought this key set from, or this product for Prototypist Keyboards, it's damaged, and now they won't refund me. And it's like, yeah, because it's B stock, we told you it was B stock. It said no refunds available because it's B stock. You know, it just makes things really difficult. Full group buy would be a throwback to lockdown. We had stock during lockdown, so yeah. There are a lot of people that weren't join group buys as well. A lot of us here are probably comfortable with it, but a lot aren't, as they aren't deep in the hobby. Lost in typing, you are correct. I actually wrote a blog post about this the other week. If you go on the website and you go to Jay's blog under information, I actually wrote a blog post about all of this 2 weeks ago. Here you go. It's a big old blog post. It's a bit of a rant. I'll tell you, it's a bit of a rant. If you are interested in my thoughts, I am happy to read this out on stream. I'll drop the link in chat. But it's basically called Profit is a Dirty Word. You might be interested in reading that if you've followed any of what I've talked about on this stream. You may not. I have a lot of blog posts where I rant. This is another rant post from April. This is another rant post from February. I like to rant, and another one from April. I do like to rant. Obsolescence is a new black. Why mechanical keyboards still kick ass? I look back and I cringe on some of this. Oh, I look at this. What the fuck is up with the weather? I wrote this last year in July, literally a year ago. Oh my god, I'd forgotten I'd written this. This is hilarious. I'd forgotten I'd written this. Do you remember when British summers were about lukewarm picnics in the drizzle, your nan's tea set, and at worst a sunburn that vaguely resembled the RGB glow of a Corsair keyboard on its way out? Not anymore. It's July 2025 and the UK is less like a cool breeze and more like Superman typing on a keyboard at light speed. Blisteringly, infuriatingly hot, a spacebar sticking to your thumb because it's half melted. Let's be clear, this isn't just summer. Spring of 2025 was the warmest and sunniest in UK history. June, supposedly the land of rain-misted cricket matches and damp barbecue buns, became the hottest one ever recorded for England. And I think that's been beaten now by this June. And now, as your fans were desperately, mechanical, not adoring sadly, the UK is enduring its third heatwave before even halfway through July. In the sweltering zones of the West Country and the Midlands, temperatures have surged well beyond the high 20s, sometimes even brushing an infuriating 33 degrees. Faversham in Kent, try 35.8. And if you think that's normal just because it didn't reach the all-time 40-degree hysteria of 2022, you must be the kind of person who's satisfied with a mushy membrane keyboard. Get a grip. So yeah, I wrote about that a year ago, and it's back. So yeah, you might be interested in reading my blog. It's basically where I just rant about crap all the time. Have fun if you are interested. Or don't, I don't mind. But yeah, there are a lot of people who aren't joining group buys. The one issue with not joining group buys is if you don't join a group buy and then it doesn't make MOQ, you are part of the problem, not part of the solution. And the blog post does touch on that as well, so you might want to read that. Mikey Type says, is it super complicated for the EU? Because it's so many different countries. The EU is broadly okay. Every country in the EU has a different tax regime, so we have to charge a different amount of VAT. And there's slightly different rules depending on where we're shipping to. For example, Germany is a little bit more strict on things, whereas Poland is pretty open. But there's a new complexity just being added to EU shipments, which means for every commodity code that we use, we now get charged an additional €3 fee just for it to go to Europe. And this is all vendors worldwide, not just UK vendors. If any vendor worldwide is now shipping into the EU, they will get charged €3 per product type that is in the package, on top of the shipping cost. It's insane. Super convoluted, yeah. Just dropped in and Jay's explaining the magic of VAT. VAT is my biggest pain in life. Thank you, Alvi, for 29 months of subs. I hope your trip went well today. I know you were traveling. I saw some issues. I hope you got there safe. I hope you're doing well. Have you been able to run the laser at all with this heat? No. The laser that we have here is an industrial laser. It's designed to run between 4 degrees and 25 degrees Celsius. It does have its own internal cooler, but anything above 25 degrees, it just throws an error message, ambient temperature. It just throws an error message and won't cut. So I have like 5 or 6 orders where people are waiting for POM plates to be cut, and I just can't cut them because the machine it refuses to cut. If the ambient temperature is too high. So I could come on an evening and do them, but I've just been too busy with being away for trips and things like that. But hopefully towards the back end of this week, it'll be cool enough that I can run the laser for maybe 2 or 3 hours. But yeah. Jay in a sports bra zooming around boxing borders. I wasn't wearing a sports bra, I was just in my boxer shorts. It's just one of those things. And that, chat, is why you subscribe to the £600 Ko-fi tier. Sure, if anyone wants to subscribe to the £600 Ko-fi tier, you do get exclusive access to the cameras here at PT Workshop, and you get to see what we're up to each day. There's only 5 slots available, but if you want to join that, you can do. That is a joke, by the way, it's not real. People think my leg is done. I'm like, no, I have 14 hours to go. It looks crazy. Just get your legs out. No need to be conscious. Lots of unfinished tattoos out there. I know, but I'm very self-conscious about it. Just planning ahead of time, is there any chance we can change next week's stream since it's bang on World Cup final start time? Kind of being selfish so I can be in stream. It depends. If England is in the final, I will be watching it, so the stream will be delayed or will happen earlier or something. I'll figure it out. What's the leg tattoo? Just came back from Frankfurt, getting tattooed entire chest and torso over 2 days. It was a fun weekend. Nice, well done, Aylander. So it's all basically dot work mandala stuff from the top of my thigh down. I've had a big thigh piece done about 12 months ago. No, 8 months ago. I had my knee done about a month ago, and I had the front of my shin done at the same time. And then I've got a couple of big pieces to do on either side of my calf, a big piece on the back of my knee. I have an owl on my calf that's going to get reworked. I have 2 big pieces to do on the inside and outside of my thigh, and then there's all of the filler work to go on after that as well. So it's another 10 sessions, maybe 8 to 10 sessions. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Absolutely. I feel very bad for the designers and vendors in this hobby. I think the profit margins are so low, and someone tries to earn a little more, it gets looked down upon. Designers earn more than vendors. Absolutely, designers earn more than vendors. If I look at the amount that's paid out to designers versus what we make as net profit each year, the designer payments are probably 8 or 9 times that. So if it was just one designer designing everything at the approximate rate designers get paid, they would make the significant chunk of it. For example, we paid out the designer for Green Alert a little while ago. I think it's Green Alert. It might be another GMK set, but Green Alert, great set. And I think they cleared something like 94% of the actual profit margin on the set in the end, and that's when we've sold all of the extras. So like we make. Yeah, designers are absolutely in a slightly better position than vendors at the minute, but designers have the risk that sometimes vendors go bankrupt and they don't get paid. I'm still waiting for payment for the original run of the JO2 and GMK Midnight Rainbow from defunct vendors that I will never get it from. It's about 30,000 euros in total. So yeah. I'm aware that you have a keyboard updating page, but still wondering what is going on with the NV70 keyboard, since Keybay Tech people already got theirs. I mean, the thing with Keybay is that they may have airshipped them over, but you'll have to look at the updates. I have no idea on individual projects most of the time. Like we have so many projects I can't remember, but it should be on our updates pages. Let's take a look. So it should be on here. Oh, how weird. Do we not have a page for it? Oh, there it is, NV17. It's still expected in Q3, which is when we expected it to be, and it's still in manufacturing. Basically, that means because there's no other updates, we haven't had our units shipped to our warehouse in China yet. As soon as we get our units shipped to our warehouse in China, there will be an update on that page. So this page will get updated as soon as we get them shipped to our warehouse in China. This generally means that there's no updates. We haven't had our units. They haven't finished manufacturing yet. So if Keybay have had theirs, the factory is probably finishing units for each vendor and then shipping them out as they finish that order, and we don't have ours yet. So yeah. Germany is not strict, we are precise. Germany's strict, I'm going to stick with that. Windbreaker order, thanks for the code. No worries, thank you. I hated my knee. Knee was gnarly. I don't envy you doing the knee ditch either. Sounds sick though. Big old project. Yeah. The front of the knee was probably the I'm covered in tattoos. I've got them like all over fingers and wherever. The knee was the single most heavy part, and the back of the knee. I have like an owl on my calf, and the 2 ears come up, and they're just shy of the knee ditch. That they were really spicy as well, but the top of the knee was the worst I've ever had. But yeah. Does the designer take on any risk? So it depends on what you mean by risk. So when the designer designs, say, a key set, they come up with a design for a key set. They'll speak with vendors, and the main risk that a designer has is that the project doesn't do well and it doesn't sell, and then they've invested, you know, a couple of dozen hours or whatever it is to do their design. You know, I think on average a key set maybe takes like 100 hours of design work and stuff like that. So they've invested their time and then it doesn't sell. That's the risk on them. The risk the vendors have is the fact that refunds cost money and they might look at buying it out, things like that. Once it's actually gone into production, there's a couple of different sides to this. From the vendor and designer perspective, most designers, or some designers, feel like their job is done once the set goes into production, and say GMK set it's being produced by GMK. But then, of course, the vendor still has to manage shipping out the group buy sets, marketing extras, and selling the extras to actually generate the profit margins. Because you don't make a profit on the group buy sales, because you've got to buy extras, pay the designer, and that is doing all of that is significantly more than the revenue the group buy generates. So you have spent more than the revenue you've taken just to get the set made. And then once the in-stock extras come, you sell the in-stock extras. That's where you then break even, and then eventually you make a profit. So from a designer perspective, you've got your vendors on board. They've sold the product. It's done okay. You've made it's got through MRQ. You are then going to get paid out at some point, depending on what your agreement is with the with vendors. Sometimes that might be a percentage of profits from the group buy sales once production's complete, and then a percentage of the profits once the extras are sold out. Sometimes it might be slightly different depending on the vendor and circumstances, but effectively that's how it works. For keyboards, sometimes it's $1 per unit price. It really depends, but I mean, once that's happened, I like to think the designer should still be involved to try and help vendors sell the extras. A lot of designers disagree with that entirely and think that once the group buy is done, that's their job completed, apart from color matching. Some designers don't even want to do color matching. They basically say, once you start selling this, I want paying, and that's it, I'm out. So it really depends on the designer, how well and how far they're willing to work down that process. The designers that are willing to work more down that process with us tend to get larger percentages. So it really depends. But then, of course, there was historically a lot of vendors that went bankrupt, and that has created issues for some designers, myself included. So it really depends. It really depends. Which manufacturers have the best versus worst quality in your experience, like DDS versus Hong2 versus SDR versus Kazewa, etc.? Crispy Senpai, it depends from project to project. We've had some really good stuff from all of those, and we've had some really dodgy stuff from all of those. QC is not a linear progression path. It's not like a linear, graph where you can, plot it like that. When you're making hundreds of some products, you're always going to have some units that don't pass quality control. Like, there's just always going to be something that fails QC. If you make 1,000 of something, you're going to have at least a few units that don't pass muster. That's just the way of it being. No matter who you are, you're going to have that. So with DDS, we saw quality spike and dip over the years. We haven't used DDS for any of our own internal projects since 2022. We've used Hong2 a fair bit, we've used Kazewa a fair bit, we've used STR a fair bit, we've used a lot of other manufacturers as well that maybe not in the public view as well. And as I say, it's not a linear path. Some of them are easier to work with because they was always really quick to respond to issues. STR are usually pretty good as well. Hong2 can be up and down depending on the rep we've been dealing with from that perspective. DDS were usually pretty strict, and if you didn't agree in the contract up front, there was no leeway later on. So it's all very different, and it depends on how quick you were off the mark with contract negotiations with a lot of them. So it really depends. They've since stopped doing keyboards. Yeah, they have done recently. They're still doing a couple of things, but yeah. I slept during the back of my knee. More tattoos this week for both of us. Yeah, I am looking forward to Wednesday. I've got a fairly big session on Wednesday. I've got 9 hours to go on Wednesday, which is good. Yeah. Right. Anyway, we should actually do some keyboard content instead of just talking crap. But that is a really good question, Crispy Senpai. Unless someone asks a better question, you can win the desk mat for this week, because we do give away a desk mat for the best question. So yeah. Yeah. Right. So let me show you some of the things that are going to happen pretty soon, and do some keyboard chores. So first up, I did treat myself to a GMK Green Alert from the website. This is in stock on the website right now. I did treat myself to it. Oh, man. I just need to check something. You can pick this up right now on the website. I believe GMK also have an international kit for this, I think. Am I right or am I wrong? I can't remember. Why are you not doing what I want you to do? Okay. That's it. So this is now in my personal collection. So we're going to put this into a tub. Giveaway, some might be paid to ship. Nah, it's Crispy Senpai. We ship things worldwide constantly. Like we ship 100 orders a week to the US, if not more. Probably significantly more. I'm just going to create a little label for this. US international kit, not a proper one. I haven't bought it. I think GMK has something. But this is GMK Green Alert. And then I'm going to do a little label that says base kit. Been looking at the JO1, looks really nice. Is the V2 likely to become a reality? Yeah, the JO1 final edition is going to happen at some point soon. I don't have any dates for when that's going to happen, and the JO3 will happen at the same time as well. But it's a real challenge to figure out when we're actually going to run these things. Just going to label this up. And if you haven't seen Green Alert, it's a really, really nice set. It's basically beige and green, but it's just super, super nice. I think green and orange are the two vastly underrated colours in keyboards that we need to see more of. Maybe not together, but just in general. There we go. So it's now all nice and neatly labelled up, ready for the keyboard wall. It's time to open the set. Orange Alert does look good as well. Yeah, I'm also excited for Chores purple set as well. Just decided to look at that as lead vendor this week. So I'm really excited for that as well. Yeah, J1, hopefully not too far away. I know I've been promising it, and just some of the little details on this, look. It does have text. I don't know if you can see it. Can I get that in camera? There is text in the background here. This is Green Alert. It's really nice. MC is really nice to work with as well. He's like really, really easy to work with. Here's a little the little card, authenticity card. And here's the key set. So this is already in stock and good to go. I should really start keeping these. You do need them if you want to claim on the GMK warranty. Like if you get a missing key, always try and keep these if you can. But this is the keycap set. Look how beautiful this is. Such a lovely, lovely shade of green. I did not pick up the alert row because I just wanted the green legends. It looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. Why are beige keycaps so appealing? I don't know, man. Like, there's just something to be said for beige stuff in general. Like, I think it's a mix of nostalgia and, you know, comfort, and it's just a nice thing. Thank you for the link, Jelly. Yeah, this is in stock. You can order it today, it will ship tomorrow. And the other thing to note as well is it does have an R5 bottom row, which means you have a super, super steep bottom row, which is probably the best way to do the bottom row in my opinion. This is a super, super nice key set. Beige and green. What more could you want from a key set? And it's such a nice screen. Look at the screen. It just pops. Super, super nice. Big, big fan. Yeah, look how steep the base of the enter key is. Super, super steep here. Love it. Whereas most keys would be, so you can see the difference here. So most R4 keys will be the same as this key. So you can see just how much of a difference there is in terms of the height. If we put them together, you can see there's a huge difference. It's like 3 or 4 mil difference in height. Super, super, super cool. R5 bottom row. Absolutely a winner. Is it worth getting this when I already have DCS cream cheese and green on order? I think so. I think they're very different sets. And DCS is very different as well. Like I have I have it as well. Yoga says, why not use the GMK OG tray? So the reason is because I have all of my keycap sets on the wall here. There is a huge amount of keycap sets on the wall. It runs all the way off camera over here, and they all sit in these tubs. So yeah, that's why. Opening already built. Oh, did I not change the title of the stream? Yeah, the opening we built on stream a couple of weeks ago. I may have missed updating the stream title. I apologize, Logan, if I have not updated the stream title. Let me do that right now. Yeah, okay. The build stream for that is on YouTube, so you can go and watch it if you would like to. It's a little bit, but yes. I may have forgotten to update it. Basically, you get to look at all of the nice things I bought myself this month, which I shouldn't have done because I can't afford it. And I'm going to show you some of the new products we've got coming in stock this week as well, because we've got a ton of stuff that's going to drop, including the desk mat that's on my desk. This is going to drop in stock this week. There we go. That's green alert now, all tidied up, ready to go. In stock if you are interested. Beautiful key set. Go do a buy because that's what I like you to do. Next up, this is going to go in stock as well this week. This is KBD fans Budgerigar. This isn't my set. I am going to open it because I want to have a look at least one of the sets. This is technically one of the in stock sets. I haven't bought this for myself yet. I may buy it if you get the open set. The first person to order it will get the open set when it drops in stock. I will refund at £5 because I've opened it to whoever buys it. Oh. So this is KBD fans PBT fans Budgerigar key set. Now the reason why I wanted to stock this on the store was because I really like the colours. It's just really pretty. It's like a teal on beige. Look how nice this is. It's like a really bright teal on beige. Really nice. Picked up PFF Verdant Retro because beige and green, but I've since got off low profile in a big way. That's fair. Received a Cherry G8 T2100 recently. Should get DK Saver and OTV Red Alerts recently. Do you know, I still regret selling my DK Saver. Oh, look at this. There's even more keycaps in this tray here. Ton of compatibility, and you even get the alert row in that lovely Tiffany blue color as well. So might be something you're interested in, might not be. If you do buy it and you get this set, you will know that I have lovingly caressed it. But yeah, this is going to be in stock tomorrow because KB Defense finally shipped it yesterday. Sorry, it finally arrived from KB Defense yesterday. Friday, not yesterday, Friday. Should have arrived a month ago, but it arrived yesterday. So, PB Defense Budgerigar in stock from tomorrow. Maybe you want to pick that up. The other one I want to show you from PBT Fans as well is this one. This is also going to be in stock tomorrow, so stock drop on Monday. And this is PBT Fans Absolute. We were supposed to get this months and months ago, and for some reason it never shipped from them. And then finally they shipped it last week, and it arrived on Friday as well. This one does have a matching Norda UK set with it as well. You can buy. But this is really fun because it has a ton of super cool legends on it, and I'm just a huge fan of this. This is one set I probably will keep for myself. Look at this with UK ISO. How fun is this set? Artistic. I know someone who had this sort of artwork tattooed on their chest. She was a good friend of mine a few years ago. Super cool. So yeah. Catch up with chat for a minute. From camera it looked like the laser cherry. Close up it's nice. Yeah. Do you not like beige? He does not like beige. I think Mango is due to have you open him as the next person to use. They were asking the other day. Oh yeah, I think we've already shipped that to them. That was handed off to the team last week, so I think that's already been shipped away, Luffy. So yeah. Is Budgerigar Dicer, but it doesn't look like the usual PBT Fans Legends. No, it's double shot. Oh no, it is Dicer. You're right. I thought it's double shot, but you are right. It is dice up. Good spot, good sir. Let's just double check on the alphas. You are right. It is a PBT fence set that is dice up, not double shot. Well spotted. I thought it was double shot, but you're right. It's not. It's dice up. But the keycaps are very good quality, so I wouldn't let that off. And of course, this set as well is dice up as well. I believe you can. Just checking. Yeah, this set is dice up. I mean, when you've got so many different colours, you kind of have to do it. But it's beautiful, beautiful set. Look at all the novelties. Look at the ISO novelty as well. How cool is that? That's just such a good fun. There is desk mats as well that will be going with this, so I'm super excited to get this in stock in the next couple of days. Tomorrow, it should be in stock tomorrow. I'll pop an announcement when it drops as well. But super, super excited to get this in stock. Look great on a Tiffany coloured tofu 65 or TKL. Word, you're right. Cool, so that's those two sets. I do have three more sets that I have purchased. So the first one up is Foundation Round 2, and I did buy this in both the MT New and the CYL profile because I'm a sucker for this. So I also bought the MT New and the CYL accent keys because I couldn't not. So these are going into my personal collection. These are all in stock as well, by the way. You can pick these up off the website right now. Just super, super cool to have like really nice, funky accent keys. This has been really popular since we dropped it in stock as well. I think we dropped it in stock on Thursday or Friday last week, and it's been selling really, really, really well. Far better than I expected it to, because it wasn't particularly popular in the group buy for us. But it's done pretty well being in stock. Sad they didn't include the accent alt GR keys. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, you just have to make choices sometimes, and that does mean that, you know, you can't make everyone happy, unfortunately. Okay, I think the temperature has dropped enough for me to turn the fan on. Now the sun's not streaming through the window. I think I'm a little bit better. Okay, so this one is MT New Foundation. So let's set up a label for this one. So this is MT New Foundation. And we've got the base kit and the accent kit. And I'll have the base kit and the accent kit for the CYL, so I'm going to print this one out too. Base and accent. There we go. Just pop that to one side. Don't forget, guys, we do a giveaway for whoever asks the best question. Currently, Crispy Senpai has that honour of winning the desk mat this week. If you can ask a better question, you might win the desk mat instead. Oh, I've put the label on the wrong way around. I meant to put that on lower. Okay, I was wrong. I need that fan on. It's suddenly got really, really hot. I should not have turned it off. I thought I was getting a little bit cool in the fan, but as soon as I turned the fan off, the heat has just enroached. That was a schoolboy error. Schoolyard mistake. There we go. Cool, all labelled up, MT New Foundation, base and accent. I'll put the card in here as well. Look how nice this looks. It's like soft beiges, some dark accent keys, and then of course the bright accents as well, which goes super, super well with this key set. Look how nice these look. Let's open these up. When it comes to running and designing your first project, what is the initial cost you would look to consider, such as prototype costs, etc.? So, as a designer, you have a few things that you need to think about paying for. The first thing is the cost of your time to do the designs. Look how nice these accents look. I think these are my favourite. One of the other things you need to consider is the cost of prototyping stuff. Realistically, if you're doing a keyboard, you probably need 2 to 3 prototypes to make sure everything works correctly. And then maybe you want to do some anodization samples as well. So maybe just some parts so you can see what that looks like in terms of colors and things like that. Look how cool these accents look with it. Super, super nice. Such a beautiful keycap set. I don't know why we didn't do part 2 of this a long time ago. I will do a comparison as well, Dash. But the other things that you sort of need to consider as well, Trop, is getting vendors on board and making sure that your project actually has enough legs to sell, and doing something like an IC to prove that it has the legs to sell. ICs are a bit of a double-edged sword. Oftentimes you can get really good responses from an IC. You'll get 3,000 responses, all saying they'll buy, but then when it actually comes to buying it, only 10% of them do, and you don't make anywhere near the queue. The other thing can happen as well, where you get next to no responses and then everyone wants to buy one. So it can vary somewhat. Like here in the UK with the Chores 65, the Chores 65 coming soon page have had over 50,000 hits. We have not sold 50,000 keyboards. I wish we had. So they were unique visitors, 50,000 unique visitors to that page, and well, we haven't even. We're not even into the 3 figures for Chores keyboard kits sold in the UK. So it's one of those things. You just have to be very, very careful with it. So yeah, it really depends on what you want to do, Trop. It really does depend. Don't jump into it thinking I'm definitely going to make money.
Tasty, tasty.
You may not make any money, so you may make a loss. 10k of those are me playing with the options. Exactly how sold out is a Zoom 65 Aquamarine edition? It should be completely sold out. I don't think they have those keyboards anymore. Let's have a look on the website. The Aquamarine edition. There it is. So the only thing that's in stock, you can see here, the only thing that's in stock is the switches. Nothing else is in stock. Everything else is sold out. Literally shows you right here, product availability. Everything is sold out apart from the switches, which we have a low stock of. There's not very many of them left. So yeah, that's, you know, we cross things out when it's sold out and we don't have it. And then we show you here in red where it's sold out as well. So if you look at something else that's in stock, we just go to the in stock section. You can see here, for example, this text goes amber when they're almost sold out and red when they are sold out. And in stock, ready to ship. So it's nice and green, plenty of these available. You don't need to worry about them. But then other things goes amber and then red once it is sold out. So yeah, you can see the stock there. Should be nice and clear. Okay. Oh man, I've lost it. Mr. Wisdom, thank you so much for your sub. 24 months, 2 years of PT subs, dude. I thoroughly appreciate it. Hope you're doing all right in the heat. I am struggling a little bit. I thought I was cool because the fan was on, but then I turned it off and it instantly got too hot. So it is what it is. Okay, so I'm just going to keep out one of each color so we can compare the colors from the PBT MT New to the CYL ABS. So I'm just going to keep one of each color. 10k of those were you playing with the options? I don't think so, because they were unique visitors. So yeah. No infiltration. You did not hear that correct. We had 50,000 hits on the coming soon page, but we have not sold 50,000 keyboards. Nowhere near. We're not even in triple figures here in the UK. It is, you know, that's the kind of conversion rates you end up with. 50,000 unique visitors look at a page and only a few dozen actually order. Just curious as I want to look into running a very small community group buy for a board I'm slowly chipping away at this point. I just want to have people using something I've designed. Money is always a secondary thing. Best case, the board is paid for by my time designing. Worst case, I have a few prototypes and no group buy. So what I would suggest to you, Trop D2, is if you're going to run the group by yourself, one thing I would suggest to you is make sure you have enough capital before you run the group buy to repay for everything if everything goes wrong. If you sell 10 boards, make sure you have the revenue for the group buy yourself, make sure you have that in spare cash you can afford to lose, sat in an account ready to go just in case the manufacturer shits things up, the shipment gets lost at sea, the boards all arrive scuffed, they get lost in the post to customers. Make sure you've got enough money to cover yourself for the 100% of the costs should everything go wrong. I really, really, really think that you need to think that through. Too many people run group buys and think that they don't need to do that and they don't need to underwrite themselves. You absolutely need to be able to underwrite yourself in circumstances. If you're a vendor and you have a store and a company, you have other ways of managing that kind of cash flow. But as an individual running a group buy, you need to make sure that you're able to do it. Otherwise, you'll end up in positions, if you're not careful, like Zondat did and other people, where they've gone bankrupt with, hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of investments they can't pay back. So yeah, my advice to anyone who wants to run a group buy on their own: make sure you have double the funds available before you start the group buy. Right. Okay. Let's take a look at the comparison of the colors between CYL and MT New Foundation, and you guys can see how close they are. So first up, here's the greens. On the left we have the CYL, and on the right we have, let me zoom the camera in actually, and I can show you in the light. So the camera is showing more difference than there is in real life. The green's slightly brighter, but not much brighter in the PBT than it is in the ABS, but they are almost identical in terms of color in real life. Like in real life, it's more of a texture thing that changes the color. MT is a little bit slicker, but they are almost identical in terms of color in real life. The camera is showing more of a variance than there is really. Let's see if the face cam shows you. Like if you look there to there, it's kind of the same color. They are almost identical. Almost identical. It's more of a texture thing that changes the color than the actual color itself. If we look at the orange next, the orange is identical. It's just not any different at all. It's just the same color. It's slightly different when the light hits it. Of course, you can make it look different, but when you get the light hitting it the same, identical. Identical. So the orange is really good. The teal blue, the Prussian blue color, again, identical. No variance in difference at all. Anything that you see here is lighting. If I get them in the same lighting, you can't actually tell the difference between the two. They might as well be the same plastic. The red, again, identical. I can't see a variation in color here. Wisdom, thank you so much for gifting 10 subs to followers. I thoroughly appreciate you, dude. Thank you so much for that. There you go. So the green a little bit different. Every other color is identical. Here's the greys. These are the same color. This is a stock color, I believe. So these are identical. No difference there. And then the light pink, the salmon pink. Again, maybe a little bit of difference in terms of texture from the lighting, but when you get them in the same lighting, these are so close you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. There you go. It looks better that way. There you go. Almost identical. Almost identical. So there you go. It's pretty much identical for all the colors. The green is the most off, and that's not like it's so close in real life. Like the camera is affecting that more than it should do, maybe. But if it's sold out, how do I get it? I mean, if it's sold out, no clue. It's sold out. That's the thing. You can't buy it. It's like we don't have any to sell you. It's sold out. You know, I'm not quite sure what you're asking there. I can't tell you something that doesn't exist, right? I've been enjoying the World Cup. Yeah, I've not watched all of it, Crispy Senpai, but I've kept up to date with it. So yeah, it's pretty good. Any cool TKLs coming up as pre-order in stock soon or 75s? Yeah, we've got some Neo 80 CUs coming, some normal Neo 80s, some Neo 75s as well coming in stock. There's always new group buys coming. There's actually some really cool projects that are going to launch in the next 6 weeks or so that I can't talk about just yet. But yeah, good stuff coming. Some designers, as of late, could have done with heeding this advice. I mean, like, that is just what my learned experience is. As Lobin says, biggest keyboard run advice, don't run a group buy in 2026. I mean, maybe. It depends what you're trying to do. If you're happy with only selling 10 of something, maybe it's okay. But, you know, I think we're going to hit a point this year, maybe going into next year, where most projects fail to hit MOQ. Like Juno really struggled, even though it's a great design, fantastic keyboard. It really struggled, and I think that's going to happen for more and more projects, especially the projects that come from lesser known designers. As a vendor, we've only got so much money we can invest in things, and it's often easy to go with what we know than what we don't. Which keyboard is this? The keyboard I'm using here is a TGR Koala. Can't think of anyone that this might refer to who recently designed a split keyboard and did absolutely everything right and is faultless and just got very unlucky multiple times. No comment. No comment. I think the other thing as well is a lot of the time it's really hard to get people to take accountability in the keyboard world when things go wrong, and like you try to explain to someone, oh, like this is your responsibility as whatever your role is, you need to make sure this goes right, and then it doesn't, and it's like, well, who's going to pick up the pieces now? And often that falls to other people to pick up the pieces. Foundation R2. I don't like that, right? Empty new foundation. I'm going to fix that label actually, because I labeled that wrong. I labeled it wrong. So it should have said GMK empty new foundation R2. It just says empty new foundation. So I'm going to rename that, relabel that. So this one is correct. GMK CYL foundation R2. This one, in fact, let's zoom in up so you can see. I'm just going to relabel this one a little bit more. GMK empty new foundation R2. I know it was technically the first time that the foundation had run an empty new, but the group was called R2 because it was a repeat of the GMK version. Okay, just set up twice. Oh, look at all those gift subs. Thank you so much. Why we check it, by the way? Yeah. Someone wants to mix empty, new, and cherry together? No, I don't know. They're just seeing how close the colours were, I think. I don't think anyone actually wants to mix empty, new, and cherry. I think they were just making sure that the PBT colours were as good as the CYL colours. And they pretty much are. Like, it's almost not a difference. Again, this looks so good. I think I prefer it in cherry profile, but it looks so good in all profiles. It's such a great key set. Thank you again, Mr. Man. Really thank you for that. There haven't been a lot of unique keyboard products recently. NPR and 21XX were standouts. Yeah. Beautiful lime green keyboard. Keycap colour. Beige or brown would go great with that. Foundation would be fantastic. Green alert might look good depending on the green. Or the next set I'm going to show you, which this will drop in stock tomorrow. GMK Tiger R2 is going to drop in stock tomorrow. Might be really good for you. I lost hope in being keyboard designer due to MOQ stuff going on right now. Doubt I can sell my ideas and time works against me. It's true, yeah. I need to run HAL 6. I'm excited for that, dude. I hope you do run it. I hope you do run it. The Koala is so popular, you should put a nice meetup card next to it with all the info on it so people don't have to ask all the time. I mean, there isn't that many of them out there. Someone in the UK told me a couple of weeks ago that they owned 3 of them. I don't know if they do, but if they did, that's kind of insane because there's only like 20 made. But yeah. Are there any new 60% group buys coming up in the next few weeks? Yes. Watch this space. Again, I'm always really coy on this because I don't know what I can leak and what I can't leak. And it's a really difficult question sometimes. It's like people ask me what's coming soon. It's like, I'm not sure, and I don't know if I can check live on stream with someone whether I can actually tell you about this project or not. So, I'm just going to keep my mouth shut and not tell you, but tell you that yes, there are projects coming that you might be interested in. It has the same shade as the spacebar on the keyboard in front of you. Oh, so it's like bright lime green? Oh, okay. Maybe look at like high-vis. That might look quite good with it, like Wimbledon tennis ball style, or something white might look good with that too. I tell you what does go with lime green quite well, actually. Like a baby blue, something like GMK Nightlight on a case that color would look really, really nice. But, you know, your mileage may vary. You might like different things. Surely Windbreaker would work. I mean, Windbreaker would work. Ada, I don't know if we have that in stock anymore. We might not have got that in stock anymore. Mutagen might look quite good, but I think we've sold out of that as well. Let's not do Aiming a disservice. Let's look on the website and let's have a look. Let's look at in-stock keycaps. Let's see. So it's lime green. Well, I think this proves that Foundation works because it's on a green keyboard there. So I think Foundation would absolutely work. I think that's a good shout. Green Alert might, depending on the greens, it may not, it might clash. So I'd probably not look at that. High vis would make it look like a tennis ball. Hangle Bait would work really well because it's got the bright green in there. So that would work really nice. Hangle Bait would work really well. Something grey, like Cap Grey Alert. Don't use the alert row, but just use the Cap Grey Alert, the grey keycaps. That would work really well with a green keyboard. Green and grey always looks good together. Pink Alert I don't think would work. Windbreaker absolutely would, and it's 10% off during the stream. Is there a shot of this on a green keyboard? I can't remember. Blue. Maybe not. Maybe we don't have a render on a green keyboard, but it would look great on a green keyboard. Oh, there we go. There you go. Would look really, really good on a green keyboard. Beige will always look great on a keyboard as well. I tell you what, a dark shout out actually might be Komodo here. This would look pretty cool on a green keyboard. I don't know if it's rendered on the keyboard actually. But on a bright keyboard with the dark colors, this might look really, really nice. What else? Blue might not work. A Klein Blue is lovely, but I don't think that would work. Just Beachy wouldn't quite work either. White on black would always work. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a lot of choices already. Midnight Rainbow would work really, really well. You know, you might want to pick that up. Who knows? Who knows? Dolch could be nice. It depends on the green. Like, right, without seeing the green, it's really hard to say, but yeah, it could be. The Komodo might work, or the Vase green case. Yeah, it would really work. Oh, I mean, that works with Windbreaker. Hold on, I think I can share that. No, I can't share that. I can't. Oh, maybe I can. Hold on. No, it's been blocked. I can't share that, unfortunately. Yes, that would work really well. Dynamics. Windbreaker. Gonna rewatch the tomorrow segment and just look through the website. Nice. Okay, so that is Foundation R2 boxed and ready to go away. Nice. And then last thing I have to show you keyboard wise, although I'm really in love with this new desk mat, is a GMK Tiger R2. Windbreaker is a very good idea. Windbreaker just goes with everything. I think we've finally almost sold out based on the stream. And there is 10% off until the end of the stream, Eamon, as well. You can use the pinned discount code for it. This is GMK CYL Tiger TAI Tiger. Yeah, TAIGA R2. Best stabs, clip-in and screw-ins in your opinion? I think we've just sold of Knight V4s, but I'm a big fan of the 4-wraps recently. They are probably my favourite stabilizers. We will be restocking Knight stabilizers at some point soon, but we're waiting for the screw-in ones of those to come out as well. So that might be a little bit away. But yeah, the Knights, the 4-wraps, probably the best stabilizers in the market right now. Does it do Cyrillic? No, it doesn't. Or if it does, I don't know how to make it do it. I only have the base kit for this, but we'll put the base now. Yeah, so 4-wraps would be my go-to stabilizer right now. I think we've just sold out of Knight V4s. I think I'd have to double check the stock, but I'm pretty sure I just sold out.
Tasty, tasty.
Tommy, thank you so much for the sub. I thoroughly appreciate you, dude. Says we're sitting on the fence about getting the Craze 65, but grabbed one today in the vintage colorway. Nice, dude, nice. Yeah, today is your last chance to join the Craze group buy because it will shut later on tonight. Yeah, I'll show you on the website. It's the 4-wrap stabilizers. So if you just go onto our website and you go to shop in stock, and you go to accessories and then stabilizers, it's these ones here, 4-wraps V2 stabilizers. They, I have some of the housings here actually. They are a reversible stem. So the stem, when you insert it into the housing, you can put it either way. It works in both orientations. So you can go that way in or that way in. It works both ways. But they are exceptionally good. They're technically a clip-in stabilizer, but you can trim off the clips and put a screw in instead if you prefer to screw them in. I like them as both. I prefer them as a clip-in, but they're really, really good. So well worth considering. Drop the link to them in chat. There you go. That's our link to them. Right. Let's have a look at Tiger R2. This is such a nice green set as well. This will be in stock tomorrow, so if you have been waiting on picking one of these up, it will be in stock tomorrow. And if you want to save some money, you can order it on the pre-order, I think, overnight. I think we have a pre-order for this. Let's have a look. Yeah, so in our pre-order section, is it in here? I'm pretty sure it is. Solar green. Maybe I'm wrong. I thought we had a pre-order for it. We do, yeah, pre-order, yeah. So yeah, so if you wanted to order this in pre-order, this is a set I'm just unboxing right now, you can get a little bit of a discount. It's going to go up a little bit in price when it drops in stock tomorrow night. So yeah, maybe you want to get it ordered now, save a little bit of money. Scroll past it, probably did, yeah. Look at these greens, look how beautiful this is. I do love like a bottle green kind of colorway in some sort of legends. And you've got some really, really cool. Look at the legends. Look how cool that is. What a cool set. What a cool keycap set. Wish it had R5. R5 is good. Not every set can have it. I think it'd be the same. But this is such a good set. Like the colours are just great. Look how good this green is. It's such a good green. Camera, please. Such a good green. Super, super tasty. Super nice. How does it compare to a green anode? Like it's, I mean, that's going to tell. You know, it's going to be different on different green anodizations. There are a million variations of green anodization. Do I have nuclear data to compare against? I might do. Let me have a very quick look. I don't know if I've ever bought nuclear data. Let me have a very quick look at my keyboard shelf. I might have it. I might not. I don't think I do. But nuclear data, I can compare it to Green Alert. There you go. That's the green from Green Alert, which is a stock green. So that kind of gives you an impression of how dark it is. I know that's not the same as nuclear data, but that's about as close as I can do at such a short notice request. Yeah, we do have nuclear data in stock as well, so if you want to buy that too, you could. Yeah, it is a really nice green. It's just a lovely, lovely colour as this. This is not Zooted. This is Tiger R2. You only have the alphas? Oh, really? Have we sold out the base kits? Oh, it must have gone in the sale a couple of weeks ago, Dynamics, because we did have it in stock on the shelf up until maybe, well, the last time I saw it was maybe 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. No, it's not Zooted. Zooted is a very different green. I do have Zooted, and I can show you that. It's on the shelf. I'll grab that in a second, just to show you how different to this colour green it is. These are 2 different colour greens. There's kind of like a dark green and a lighter green. I'll keep those out, and then I'll go grab Zooted and show you next step. Zooted is a very, very different set of greens. The dark coloured greens here. Maybe that help with the darker greens, but Zooted is very, very different in its colours. I'm 100% certain I just dropped a keycap, and I have no idea where it's gone. Oh, I do. It's like right under the desk out the far side. Yeah, Zooted is a very, very different colourway to Tiger. It's just completely different. Its shades, just so different. Very, very different. Still both incredibly cool sets though. And Zooted R2 shouldn't be too far away now. But yeah, that's not a bad little haul for it. That's all the sets we've had a look at today. Okay, up next, I do have one more job that I want to do before we end the stream. And that is to look at one of the old JO1s. So for those of you who've been around in the hobby, you'll know that I've been designing keyboards for a few years now. This is the very, very original JO2. JO1, sorry. This is the very, very first one that has terrible anodization, not great fitment, and well, it was an interesting board to design, and it has holes and no feet, and this is the one that I used for a long time. It's very, very dusty and very, very dirty. But one of the things I wanted to do is clean up the patina on the pen rail and on the mid piece. So there is a whole mid piece of brass in here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this apart, and then I'm going to show you guys how I clean up brass on keyboards. And we're going to try and make it look as close to new as we can. And this can get a little bit messy, so I'm going to bring out protective mat to protect my super cool new desk mat that I'm really happy about. And the first thing we're going to do, so this was the original prototype, and it had slots for magnets in here to hold it down with magnets, and because it was a prototype I never got around to fitting the magnets, so I just used it loose for the longest time. Like, this was on my desk as a daily use board. I mean, you can see how shiny Honeywell is here. This was the workshop board in our old workshop for about 3 years, and was home use for 2 years before that. This is the very, very first run of GMK Honeywell. I don't know what year that would be, 2015, 2016, something like that. But we're going to take this apart, and then we're going to clean up all of the brass and try and make it look a little bit more like new. So yeah, let's grab some screwdrivers. I don't even know what screws this has got in it. This probably doesn't even have reasonable screws in it. Oh, it has Torx in it. I'm pleasantly surprised by my old J's commitment to Torx. That is not straight. Okay. Slightly worrying because I need a clean and empty bowl. There it is, that'll do. That screw is definitely not screwed in properly. So typically screwed in. And this is when we did original screws in here. I don't think we should have done in the end. Two different sort of screwdrivers. And Jay didn't know how to design keyboards properly. Kind of like the way the brass looks going to look, not going to lie. Yeah, the thing is, it's just not patinaed evenly, and because this was the original prototype, I just want to try and, it doesn't get used anymore. I just want to try and take it back to its original kind of specification, because it's more of a showpiece. Unfortunately, at some point over time, the PCB in this did die. I don't have a replacement for it anymore, and the newer versions of the JO1 PCB do not fit in this board, so it is absolutely a relic and is unlikely to ever be working again. So I just want to make it look as nice as I can. Just want to go with a slightly smaller, maybe a T8 for these ones. I imagine this is like when I look at code that I wrote 2 or 3 years ago and cringe. Maybe. I mean, like, we've made so many quality of life improvements since these boards. This was 2016, 2017 when we made this. Like, for example, when you see the gaskets for this, we now use an all-in-one gasket solution, which is completely different. And I am dreading putting this back together, to be honest, because I know just how difficult the gaskets on this board were to assemble. Should now come apart, I think. This is the size of JST cables back in the day. Huge monstrosities of things. This is the first time this board is being opened up in nearly 10 years. This is how old stuff is. So we got rid of these posts in here. We still kept the internal cavity. I mean, it's not even a universal daughter board. It's like a custom job because the universal daughter boards weren't around then. It's very, very similar to what became the universal daughter board, but it's a custom job with massive JST connectors that no one uses anymore. And yeah, well, not the best machine either, but we have a pen rail, we have screws, and then this is where the mid piece now connects to the bottom case. It doesn't connect to the top case. So I need to remember how this now comes apart. I think this is just friction fit. Yeah, okay. So I'm not going to take this bit apart because this is a 3-layer gasket that took forever to assemble when we put these together. So I'm absolutely going to be very, very careful with this to not take the rest of it apart. Such an old design. I'm glad we've changed almost everything about this board since this design, but yeah, cool to see it open again. Minimal typing cheeses fall into the case. Nice. Yeah, well, it's done all right for the years. Okay, so now we have our 2 brass pieces. The mint bowl is cool. Yeah. I like the ball balls. The mint one is really nice. It was the last one we had in stock, so I grabbed it. What's the most valuable thing you've learned from designing and group buy this keyboard? That I should never have started the keyboard company route. I think if I could go back in time, I would struggle to know if I made the right decision even now. I think I'm a richer person in terms of experiences, and I have met some amazing people through this hobby, and that I wouldn't want to change. And I have had some fantastic experiences in people that I've met over the years. I would never want that to change. But the amount of strife, the lack of income, it's now 7 years since I last had a paycheck, or it will be in November of this year. It'll be 7 years since I had a paycheck. and I'm really, really struggling now for cash, and frankly, I'm going to have to go back to work. Like, I know I have to. I've been putting off as long as I can, but I think I need to find work before Christmas. Is the bottom line of it now. It's like going to be not just I'll find something when it comes along. It's now I actually have to look for work, and I don't know if I don't know what I decided if I could go back to that day when I thought about it. But the biggest thing it's taught me is that maybe I would change my mind. Maybe I wouldn't do this again. I don't know. The group buy for this was something really special. We originally only sold 14 of these, and everyone who bought them apart from one still has them in their collection. There's only one that's ever been transferred from the original 14. And then we did the Rev 1 group buy, and that's kind of where PT kind of kicked off properly, and I thoroughly enjoyed that. And I do want to do the final edition of this very, very soon, like as soon as I can. I'm just trying to figure out how to do an EC conversion for it, because I think that's really cool and I'd love to do it. But yeah, I don't know, like when we did this project, it was so special to me because it was the first thing that I tangibly ever made and designed, and I thought that was really cool, and it is super cool. It's amazing that these boards exist out there. Things that I've created and made and assembled for people still exist out there and get used on a daily basis, even almost a decade later. But part of me regrets not keeping it at that grassroots level, and part of me regrets building PT into something bigger, because I happened by accident. It was never intended to be this way, and it just kind of happened, and I didn't really intend it. So yeah, I don't know. Like, I think if you ask me that question in a week's time, I'll probably have a different answer. But maybe I'm feeling a bit melancholical about life right now. But yeah, what will be the biggest improvement in the newest version of the JL1? The newest version, I have the prototypes downstairs. The newest version will have an EC compatibility option. It has integrated gaskets, so it's still the same isolation mount, but it's all in one piece now. The assembly is much simpler. There's no screws to take the case apart. It's just a magnetic top case like we did on the Blackout JL2s 3 years ago. There is everything about the board. It's simpler to assemble, it's simpler to change over, it's simpler to use. It now has via and vial options rather than just being old difficult QMK. So yeah, there's a million things. Anyway, the brass has seen better days. As you can see, this is all uncoated raw brass. It's just old, it is tarnished, and it's time to give it a clean up. So we're going to dig out the old Brasso here. Brasso is available around the world under various names. So what we're going to do is we're just going to tear a piece off, and I'm going to have to wash my hands after this because it does smell. And what we're going to do is we're just going to basically lightly brush the Brasso onto the brass itself, and we should start to see it clean up quite quickly and quite nicely. So you guys can watch here as we try and just polish it. See how quickly how the Brasso becomes saturated with all of the dirt and the oils off of the brass over time. So we'll hopefully get this to look like new, or at least better than it does right now. It should make the finish a lot more uniform as well. There'll still be some dark spots that won't come off with this, I know. So there's going to be some of the dark spots that just won't clear up. But we should start to see very, very soon, as that starts to dry, that it is a lot more even in terms of its finish. Yeah, Brasso is like a very fine abrasive built into a cloth. It does fall apart quite quickly, so you need to be ready to change out bits as you need to. But yeah, it's like a very fine abrasive cloth, and it starts to just polish the brass itself. And it has like a mild acid in it as well, I believe, that just kind of like heats the surface up. Basically, just gonna scrub it and take that patina off when we can, get it back to a nice even colour, and then we can go over it a second time once we clean it with some solvents later on as well. But we're just going to basically clean all the edges up here and make it look somewhat presentable. And then, as I say, what we'll do is we'll do a second coating of this onto it later on. So we'll leave this to dry for a couple of days after we've done this, and it will look worse before it looks better. That's unfortunately just the way it goes with Brasso products sometimes. But we'll polish it all up, give it a couple of days, clean it all down with some solvent, isopropyl alcohol, and then we'll go over it with the Brasso again, probably on stream on Thursday, and you'll see very quickly then on Thursday how much nicer it comes out. Or if you want, you can actually use this to even out patina and make it so as you can see, it starts to come up a bit patchy in places, but it will be much cleaner for it. See how it's starting to lift the patina off in places. Just needs a couple of polishes. We'll get up some isopropyl alcohol on this off stream, let the Brasso soak into the surface, and then once we clean it with some isopropyl alcohol, when we then put a second pass of Brasso on it, it will take off all of this dark kind of finish to it here, and it'll leave it lovely and shiny and new. Because this is kind of like all darkened off now. You see my hands are absolutely filthy now. So yeah, there we go. So you can start to see it's starting to even up. And I'm very grubby now. But such is the joys of using Brasso. I should have put some gloves on, but it's fine. So yeah. It's heartbreaking that you're feeling melancholy. I know. I hope you know how much joy you brought to a lot of people. Do you know what, Basil the Mighty? The amount of joy that keyboards bring to people is why I do what we do. Are you used to watching filth on this stream? Absolutely you will. So yeah, so I'm going to leave this to dry for a couple of days. As you can see, it's starting to all even up. As it dries, you can see even here the patchiness is starting to go. And it should be really nice in the next couple of days. Then we'll get some isopropyl alcohol in it, and then when you see it on Wednesday, or sorry, on Thursday on stream, it should be pretty much back to looking like sandblasted brass, and then we can clear coat it. Maybe I'll do that on stream as well. Bring up a box and we'll put some clear coat on it. But yeah, like the biggest joy I have from this hobby is sharing keyboards with other people. I like nothing more than when people come to Keyboards and Coffee on a Thursday morning and they go, Jay, what are keyboards all about? And I go, well, try this and try this. Tell me which you like best. And we can go through, you know, tactile and linear switches, and then we can get them to try something that's EC maybe. And then you show them something like a Seneca and say that's $5,000, and it blows their mind, and it's really cool. So that's the acid at work. Yeah, I don't know if I think it is like a mild acid. Does it actually say? Oh yeah, aliphatic hydrocarbons and aromatic hydrocarbons and soap. So I suspect it's yeah, it just says it's a polish wadding for brass, copper, stainless steel, and chrome. I use it on cars quite a lot because I have some classic cars, and I use it on the chrome cars, and it does get rid of it. But yeah. But yeah, it's yeah. Look at Brasso because it's really good stuff. You basically, when you're cleaning up really old brass like this, it takes 2 or 3 times. So you give it a good clean, like you just saw. We leave it for 24 to 48 hours. We clean it down with isopropyl alcohol, and then once that's dried off and it's seeped through the pores and seeped into the metal and evaporated out, you then go over it with Brasso again, and it cleans it up perfectly. So yeah, but yeah, bringing joy to people in keyboards is what keeps me going and what keeps me coming back to the workshop every day. Every day that we pack up a keyboard for someone and someone sends a message through saying, Jay, I just got my new keyboard in. You guys shipped me my Neo 80CU last week. It's just arrived. I've built it. Here's a picture. It's so cool. That warms my heart, and that brings me away from the negativity. I think it's really easy when you're a business owner to find negatives in things, and I don't ever want to come across as a negative person because I try my hardest not to be. But yeah, it's just where one of the things is. I insist PT is a charity, not a business. I think we are often, in many ways, a charity. Like, my accountant certainly thinks so. And he's like, when we look at pricing, he's like, Jay, you bought this GMK set from GMK for €100 a base kit. So by the time it got to you with import VAT and taxes and shipping and everything else, it cost you €122. I'm like, yeah, okay. And he's like, you're selling it for £133. That means that your profit margin is 8%. I'm like, yep. And he's like, that's not good. Like, you have to sell 100 base kits. If you have one base kit that has a problem, you have to sell 100 more to cover your costs. It's like, did I do something wrong? And it feels like I'm a naughty school child getting told off, and I'm about to get the cane from our accountant. He just genuinely does not understand how I run the business, and he doesn't appreciate it. He thinks I should absolutely change how we price things and how we do things, but ultimately we're not here for me. We're here for the community. You know, it's not for me to earn a salary from keyboards. I think that would be unfair, and we're absolutely here to serve the community with that stuff and provide cool things to the community at the cheapest price we can. And if that means that, you know, I have to sell some of my own stuff every now and again, so be it. I think that's the only way we can run. But yeah, that's how it is. So I think that's pretty much it for the stream today. We've been streaming for a couple of hours now. I'm probably going to go home and get some sleep because we've got a really long day tomorrow of Mel and I packing most of the group buys that have arrived from the shipment. So we've got a load of stuff to put in stock. So PBT Fans Absolute, Budgerigar, Tiger R2, these desk mats and a ton of other desk mats. The super cool desk mat I've got on my desk right now, plus some other desk mats. They all kind of need to be have the listings created and be put in stock. So I'm going to try and work on all of that tomorrow. Mel and I will also be packing a ton of orders too. How did you reach out about the giveaway? Drop me an email, Crispy Senpai, and link to your Twitch chat so I can check that and validate it. And we'll ship you out a desk mat. It's one of our random ones from our big box of random desk mats that we have on the side. If you want, we can add it to your next. We can add it to a next shipment to you, or if not, we can just ship it out directly anyway. So that's fine. But yeah. That's what we're going to do. Drew says, to be fair, if you can't actually run your business at a profit, is it business? I see where you're coming from, Drew. It's a really interesting question. I think if you're a capitalist, you think that the reward for running a business is profit. I think if you're a socialist, you think, well, everyone should be entitled to have access to everything. And if you're somewhere in between, it's kind of a mix-up between. How do you feel about that? And I think we're not here to be a business. Prototypist isn't here to be a business. It's here to be a service to the community. I think that's the only way I can define it. It's not here to be some towering oligarch that exists to make profit hand over fist. It's not some company that absolutely has to keep me paid and, you know, that kind of stuff. I think we pay our team fairly, I think. But I think as an owner of a company, I'm not entitled to pay just because I own the company. I think you have to add more value than that. I'm not sure I've ever added value to the keyboard hobby. I don't know. Some people might say I have, some people might say I haven't. I don't know how I feel about that. But yeah, I think sometimes things need to exist to support people and to provide a service, and that's ultimately what we're here to do. You know, a lot of businesses run by the seat of the pants. You'll see a lot of these mom and pop businesses all over the world where they might, you know, do car servicing or coffee shops and stuff. They're not making money hand over fist. You know, you run a coffee shop, you're not making money hand over fist. You're making a living, and that's okay. That's fine. That's just where you need to be. Not every coffee shop has to have 36,000 outlets and be making £100 million a year and paying no tax like Starbucks. You know, a lot of coffee shops have one location and they just exist to pay those staff and serve those customers. And I think that's where I think PT exists. We're here to serve our customers, and if we're doing a good job of serving our customers, that will be rewarded by more in sales. And if we're doing a bad job, then people won't buy from us. And I think that's how I view it. That's completely understandable, but when the money does run dry, what will be left? Does there have to be anything left, Drew? I don't know. Like, does there have to be anything left? if keyboards as a hobby, I mean, keyboards as a hobby has been on a decline. I think that's obvious for anyone who's even had a passing interest in it. The whole keyboard as a hobby is declining. It's going down over time. Eventually, that pie will be too small for anyone to make a living as a vendor or otherwise. You know, and we may be in a situation where we have too many vendors today to make it sustainable for everyone that's trying to do it. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there has to be anything left. You know, in any other business, if you have a coffee shop and all of a sudden people stop going to a coffee shop, does there have to be anything left? I don't know. People might feel differently. Like, it depends on if you're trying to build a company that's going to run and be your child's, like, say, like your kids are going to take it over after you, or you're going to sell the company and exit. I'm not trying to build PT to be something that's that, and I never have been. So I kind of don't see it that way. It's not like I'm trying to build a company to sell it out to Apple or Microsoft, or make a startup to you know, to be able to do that, to generate myself some money, or, you know, be that type of entrepreneur or figure, because I'm far from that. You know, as long as we do right by our customers, even if the money does run dry, as long as I make sure that all the historic group buys are shipped out, I think I'm okay. You know, it's there to be servicing the customers. All the people with keyboards vended by PT would say you've provided value. Maybe, but that's the company, not me. The UK Kits you sponsor for DCS. Again, might be my decision, but it's the company that does that, not me. And I think there's a big disparity between the company doing something and me doing something. Whether it's my decision or not, I think they're very different things. But yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Like, I don't know how to define an individual's input as valuable, or how you put a value to people's input into the hobby. I don't know where that sits. I don't know if you have to put a value to it. I don't know. But I do feel like if you are adding value, you maybe deserve to be rewarded. And I don't think I'd feel comfortable being rewarded for what I do. Which is why I'm looking for work, and I'm going to go back to work, because I've had 7 years of no income now, and that's become really, really tough over the past 6 months to a year. It's become really tough. So instead of me going, oh, maybe I'll find a job, I think the next, probably from the start of August, it's actually going to be a case of, right, I'm actually looking for work now. But we'll see how it goes. Right, okay, so recap of the stream. We've talked about how to use Bresso. We've gone through a whole raft of stuff that's coming in stock this week. I've talked about the updates to the website that are coming as well. I've talked about the changes that we're going to be making to the coffee site. And this week we're basically going to be focusing on shipping all of the in-stock orders out that came from our last container shipment. Our next container shipment is on the way, and there's also some shipments coming from GMK and a few other manufacturers around the world, so plenty of stuff that's going to be shipped out very, very soon. So keep an eye on the updates, keep an eye on all of that kind of stuff, and let me know what you're thinking. And I'll see you again around the Discord and Instagram. You can join the links there below over the next 2 days. I'll be also back on stream on Thursday this week, Thursday afternoon, about 12:30, 1 o'clock UK time. And we'll be hopefully looking at the next keyboard build, because I have something really, really cool that should be arriving Tuesday. So hopefully we'll be able to show that on stream on Thursday and then build it on Sunday. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I will see you all again very, very soon. Take care. Have a great rest of your Sunday. Bye-bye.